RTX for like, hey, come meet Pat and Wooly, and you submitted the photo of you with the fucking
my new
the
portrait
bison thing.
Yeah, my new portrait is me holding a portrait.
And for me, I submitted that fucking weird floating head.
Yes, right.
Now I look like the floating head.
You look like the head.
So now people will be able to recognize me easily when I'm attached to a person's body.
Right. You have to look like your branding after all.
It's all about branding.
When's the last time you saw a Reboot hat?
A while.
Yeah.
Oh.
How interesting about that.
Oh, did it? Oh.
No. I just kind of...
Did they contact you because of your video and be like, stop?
No, but the branding is where it is. It's still what it is. But it is the reality of the truth that, well, besides the fact that I've honestly just enjoyed the Killmonger.
Yeah.
For a minute. Yeah, I retired the hat after last year.
Yeah.
You know, I pretty much was like, yeah, let me just let that go there.
Remember when we were making the last batch of pins? They were like, we were like, Pat doesn't have a logo, and everyone else's logo is a different company's brand. Fucking whoops.
Yeah.
You know, now you got that nice VS.
Yeah, which one would hope one might like. It's almost like, you know how there's the YouTube versus that everyone uses. It's a joke at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours is it's different.
It's different. I kind of want mine to replace that one, but then I don't want people to think that mine was just grabbed off of Google.
You don't want it.
Yeah. But anyway, I need to find another way to incorporate a reboot symbol.
Just
PID.
tattoo it on your balls.
Well, I'm going to tattoo it, not onto my balls, but I will tattoo it on somewhere. I have an idea.
Have it tattoo it on your balls, and then you can tap it and then fold your ball over so it looks like it moved.
No one's going to see that.
But you.
I want it.
You could look at it if you put a mirror on the floor.
Or I can
and you could know. You would know.
You really hate tattoos, huh?
No, listen.
I feel like everyone that hates tattoos loves them on fictional characters as a character design thing and thinks they're cool in that context.
No, I've always maintained a very very consistent outlook, which is I should never get a tattoo because I changed my mind. And then, okay, do you remember Homer explaining to Bart about getting a tattoo?
No.
Okay, so Homer looks to Bart. He says, see, boy, a tattoo is a way that you can commemorate something you love forever. And he rolls up his sleeve. He goes, Starland Vocal Band, they suck!
Yeah.
And that, like, burned in. Okay? But the back tattoo that you're getting as a canvas...
Yes.
If that's a good piece of art, then it's a good piece of art.
Yeah.
And your back's a nice flat surface.
And, like, there's certain subject matters that you're never going to look up and go, but they're awful. Like, never going to be like, my sister sucked. Like, that's not going to happen.
No.
So that should be fine. I think there's other things that are like, well, okay, so Reboot came and went.
It sure did.
And then it came again.
And it looked like it was going out the door as it walked in.
Now, to me, it will always be about what it was as opposed to what it is.
Yeah.
And there's always the possibility that we can drag like 8 more seasons of live action out of that logo, right? That logo might take on a whole new meaning, which would then make that tattoo sting a little bit more.
That's bad. I don't like that.
But it still would be what it is supposed to be to me, which is the original franchise.
Because then
the
you
original
could be
season.
like, no, man, don't you know? This is from the 90s.
I mean, like shit. Like we saw that DMC Devil May Cry tattoo, and it's like, oh no, that person wanted the new Dante Dino.
He liked
They did not want the older Devil May
the
Cry.
new hotness.
You know? And I want to say there's definitely some logos or things out there where it takes like if you just have you ever seen anyone that just got like literally the font Star Wars as a tattoo, for example?
I've seen photos of similar things.
Yeah, like if you just got the font itself.
I think the worst one I ever saw was, it looked like he was a 20-year-old guy, and he got like the dark one opens and closes the way to Silent Hill in this awfully poorly written cursive font, and it was misspelled.
Yikes.
And it was a full back.
Yikes!
And like, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
what do you?
Like if you rocked a Star Wars logo, I mean, it's not my style. I wouldn't necessarily think that'd be the most interesting way to go about it. But if you did it, you could definitely argue you're like, well, I'm doing the original trilogy, or I'm doing my
Well, it depends if you put
EU
the
book
TM at
or
the
whatever.
end of it.
Yes, a Disney company.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, man. You know, there's definitely logos that take on new meanings. And then there's times when you're gonna hit an age where any one you have to explain it to has a solid shot of not knowing the original thing you're referencing.
Yeah.
It's always a
I'm
possibility.
excited for the near future when a Disney man shows up to your house to take your arm because it has Mickey Mouse on it, and that's copyright infringement.
Right, which if you can go beyond 100 years, why not keep it going?
Why not go deeper instead of longer?
Yep. Think there's anyone out there with a Kenshin tattoo?
Oh, tons.
Yeah, probably a bunch.
Yeah.
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 Well, I mean, it's
Yeah.
still Kenshin.
It's yeah.
He's the Batosai. He's still
yeah.
the Himura. He's
still
still cool.
the
Nothing wrong with that.
What?
I mean, if you have your memories of Kenshin,
Oh man.
there's nothing wrong
Hey,
there.
Yeah, man. Oh,
You know?
Cool.
Yeah, and I would hear an argument from someone with a Kenshin tat going like, yeah,
You're like,
that was a fun series.
Oh man.
Especially when it got dead serious with the Soseihen and whatever.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
The movies that were all super.
Oh yeah, those Samurai X stuff.
Yeah, the
That stuff
super
was
extreme,
vicious.
yeah, brutal, crazy samurai movies.
And then you're like, oh man, that tattoo looks really cool. When'd you get it? Oh, a couple weeks ago. I found this new anime.
yeah,
And you're like, ah.
yep. So, but no.
Can we get a name for the noise that you make, which is like a whiny outpouring of breath when you find something awkward? Like that you did your version.
I don't know, like the exhaling your lung bag.
I don't like
just
it.
Emptying your lung bag.
Oh, I don't like it.
Yeah, that's basically.
It's a funny
what's happening
feeling
here.
when it's a joke, but when it's not a joke, it's
Yeah. I know. Hey, someone might have even committed to the X on their cheek.
That's unfortunate.
Someone might have even gone that far.
Hey, listen. I know I'm a stodgy old stick in the mud at this point, kids, but maybe, just maybe, don't get a tattoo on your fucking face.
If you had to. Like, there's no way
Gunpoint.
out. Gunpoint, full up. It's going down. And you cannot make it, the size will be larger than, let's say, it has to at least be like 15% of your face.
Okay.
At least like 15% of your face.
Okay.
Minimum. You can't choose the scale.
We're talking cheeks, forehead.
You can choose where.
Okay.
You can choose what.
All right.
You cannot choose, and it has to be facing visage. It can't be around behind the ears.
Okay. Because, like, depending on how much hair I have at any given time, my face reaches all the way back to behind my ears, as it does now. Had to?
No choice. And it can't be.
I don't know.
And it can't be like your facial hair. It can't just be under your beard. It's got to be visible, and you have to get one. What would you make it?
I don't know. I'm totally blanking here. I can't even. I would get the word fuck upside down on my left cheek. like written side to side, but
Yeah.
upside down.
Yeah. Okay. Just as a like, cause I hear you on the like everyone would see it and be like, oh, that's unfortunate. I
Yeah.
guess they'd get it right away.
Yeah.
Like I hear you on the face tattoo shit, right? But I have to say, when I saw Post Malone's "Always Tired," I kind of went, man, that's really good.
Be extra sensitive around the
It
under
sure would.
eyes, you know?
It sure would. But it literally is just always tired. I'm like, that. You're probably gonna have days where you'd regret that, but most of the time that'll be applicable.
Yeah.
I'm not even fully against that. Yeah. You wouldn't go damaged. You wouldn't.
I thought about that for a good 10 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And God,
the goof.
that is, I want to say, like, that's the worst tattoo that hit a mainstream view. It's so edgy. And all I can think of is that the Joker got that when he was like 13.
Yeah. Yeah. Must be.
And it's
alongside all the
cursive?
rest of them,
Fuck.
mind you. So like the first thing my brain did was like, would you just commit to like Baz lines? You know, like just the full on. And it's like, no, because at the end of the day, that character is still questionable. Yeah, it would be really hard to pick something that would like have to show up. I'm also kind of tempted to think about like the eyes on my eyelids.
I know what I would get. I would get fucking hello, how's it go? Hello, fellow humans. I need your help. Just give me your credit card and those wacky 3 digits on the back written across my forehead.
Sure.
And hopefully some sucker would fall for it.
I would spread that 15% out, maybe. Probably do like... It'd be cool to like make my face cell shaded. That'd be interesting. If I absolutely had to,
Yeah.
it might be an interesting thing to make my face look permanently cell shaded, like a fucking like I'm flat with light.
I don't know, man. If I have to, and I can explain to people that I have to, like, fuck it, get a fucking Marmaduke cartoon tattooed on my forehead.
Sure.
Like,
world is a fuck.
yeah,
Right. Just get the full with both.
yeah.
Little creatures, the dog and the cat holding it.
No, I don't. Me can just joke about getting the reboot tattoo on your balls. This is because I hate tattoo. I just think it's really funny that you would use the scrote to like flip over the symbol because you tap it and it go, you know, it does the flip.
I mean, if you're gonna do anything on the scrote, you would want to do one of those like things where the more you manipulate the picture, the more you can see.
Yeah,
things
like a
with
mad
it.
cartoon thing.
Yeah, or like it's like it's the old lady now. She's
Or
hot.
alternatively, you could write it in really small text. It's like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Cool.
What about a Mad Magazine fold-out cover?
Mm-hmm.
Right, except it's right, so you can just fold the skin and then fold it out.
Yeah.
You get the full picture. Does anyone know those are anymore? Are you kids too young for that?
No, they don't know what magazines are.
Okay.
I got it. I mean,
even Cracked is gone.
I got it.
Yep.
I would get that stupid fucking face of me that we were just talking about that we sent to Rooster Teeth, dead center in the forehead, like a creepy me version of King Crimson.
Right. Yeah.
There, that's it.
Okay. That's basically what's it called? The what's his name there? Steve-O with the Steve-O face. Yeah. Right, Steve-O face. That's the thing.
Would you ever get an eyeball tattoo?
On the eyeball?
Yeah.
Under no
That's
circumstances.
a prison thing. It's a nightmare.
Well, I mean, there's the teardrop.
No, they just inject it with like Bic pens.
On the eyeball? No.
No, in the eyeball.
Under no circumstances.
Turn the whole white of the eyeball like Bic blue.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, you mentioned crack, so that jumped into my mind because there was a Michael Swaim bit on tattooing eyeballs, understanding the horrible decision from like 11 years ago.
I mean, there's inside of the lip, right? That's uncharted territory, so people do that.
Yeah.
You can definitely fucking flip that shit over. And again, I mentioned it briefly before, but on top of your eyelids so that you're always awake. Everyone always.
That seems terrible. That seems awful to do.
Like the creepy what was it? Who did it? Who did that for a while? Was it the fucking Swanton bomb?
Jeff Hardy.
The Hardys, yeah.
But those weren't tattoos, were they?
No, it was face paint, but he had
yeah.
creepy face paint where when he closed his eyes, it looked like they were still open.
Yeah.
So you could always go
Which
for
he
that.
needed because of the drugs.
Yep.
Don't do drugs and wrestle, kids. It's bad. You end up having an embarrassing match with Sting.
Drugs plus wrestling is bad. Fighting games plus wrestling equals good. Don't know if you caught any wind of Fighter Fest, but CEO and Fighter Fest happened this weekend.
I was about to say fighting games plus drugs / alcohol.
It's great.
Also seems
Great.
Didn't a bunch of fucking throwdowns and like
Yeah, but that had
shit
nothing
shows
to do
happen
with
at CEO?
drugs. That just, I mean, well, there's actual fights. Yeah, well, because they booked matches. But yeah, so.
No, I mean, I heard there was like some massive brawl that like security didn't handle at CEO and it was a fucking mess.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Oh, yeah.
But there definitely was the fighting game tournament, Community Effort Orlando, run by one Alex Jabali of Looking Up and Smiling emoji fame, or emote, I should say.
And dive kick fame.
Of course.
Infamy, if you would.
Wrestled his match, came out after getting injured and had a full on the AEW buy-in. He had a match that involved him pulling out a bag of like fucking Sanwa buttons and sprinkling them on the ring, and then getting slammed, and then he's slamming his opponent onto them, and then him, you know, like they're using them like Mick Foley fucking thumbtacks in a way.
But they're just Sanwa buttons.
But they hurt. They're buttons. They're fucking arcade buttons.
Oh wait, is it the whole button?
The whole button.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, that would hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would hurt for real.
For real. And prior to that, in the front row, Justin Wong and Yipes and everybody cheered him on. And then when the match goes outside the ring, Justin hands him an arcade stick, and he uses the stick to like bust over the guy's back and hit him in the stomach.
Arcade stick's nice
as a
and
weapon.
hefty, depending on the
Big
stick.
Big weight on that. So that was really fun. And then of course there was the elites, which is Kenny Omega plus the Young Bucks coming out as Ken and Ryu with the Street Fighter 2 music playing.
Of course.
Lights go dark, lights come back on, and Kenny is standing as Akuma as he raging demons the fucking arena.
Great.
You know, over the body, and he's got the symbol on his back, and like, yeah. So they did the whole thing. It was pretty fun.
Was CEO the first like big tournament that had Sam Show there?
I guess it would have had to.
Because I saw somebody message me that he tuned in, and Jay Wong was playing Lamer Than Ever, which in a game like I played Sam Show finally. Yeah, that seems like the kind of game you could play lame as fuck.
Yep.
And I saw a clip. You see the clip of Max?
No.
Kill a guy in 2 hits. Fucking round 3 start, he did deflect, and the other guy did hard slash, and just into super, into lightning.
Yeah,
dead.
I believe it.
It's fucking ridiculous. Yo, that game's awesome.
Get
You were right.
angry, as Galford says. Yeah, man. You fuck up, you get fucked up.
That code's pretty good too. It's not the best, but it's pretty good.
Who you leaning towards?
I didn't play enough of it.
Around.
But Genjuro was an early, just like, oh right, he's kind of like Iori.
He is Samurai Iori.
Yeah.
In character.
And isn't he also actually like?
No.
His name not Genjuro Yagami?
No. Kibigami.
Kimigami?
Kibigami Genjuro.
Whatever, it's got Gami in it. Good enough.
Yeah, no, he's not.
He's red.
He's not
red.
He's the red to
the red
Kyo
one.
Haomaru.
Yeah.
And he's the red one, and he's angrier. That's why he's Iori Samurai. That's it.
Tam Tam is really popular.
Yes. Jump back hard.
Yeah.
Jump back C. It's a problem. He's very good. He's got a far-reaching command grab. He's got projectiles. He's got a full moving Tatsu.
Nakaruru does not like to be disarmed as well. Have you seen that? What is up with that? If you disarm Nakaruru under almost any circumstances, her character model starts to go crazy. Like, it disappears.
I didn't catch that.
It animates bad. It's like, it's super fucked.
Didn't see it. But yeah. I mean, whoever you go with, there's you know, I think some people have a much more decent shot than others. I feel like Tam Tam and Earthquake are problems to be solved.
Earthquake's ranges are fucky.
Yeah,
They're really, really, really long.
It's fat teleporting Dalsum.
Yeah.
/ Axel.
Yeah. It's just like people's footsies against him feel so weird because they were like testing out ranges from like 4 character lengths away and just like pop them.
Learn to parry.
Or teleport on top of them.
Yeah, if you got one, yeah. Like certain anti-air type things are not exact. Like unless it's a full actual reversal, his air C / with a big chain swing is like, you're not going to get through that. You're going to need to...
Because his body's so fucking far.
Yeah. And you can't parry aerial moves.
No.
So, cool. Enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going to hopefully spend more time with it.
And did you download that free season pass?
Yeah, it came part of the version I bought because I pre-ordered it.
Yeah. So, even if you didn't buy the game... is it still up? It might not be up.
Oh, was it? It's
but
July
I think it was
1st?
the first 5 days.
By the way, happy Canada Day, everybody.
Happy Canada Day.
Have a little bit of maple syrup and go look at beavers online.
Lots of cool things in Canada.
Yeah.
Celebrating them today.
City's fucked right now. Like, it was tough to get here.
Yeah, fireworks is not one of them. Not one of the things that we... it's not legal here.
Well, I mean, the city can do the fireworks all they want.
Yeah.
But we can't they don't want to blow up the children.
Can't do the individual ones.
Yeah, we don't do the... Hey, 4th of July is going to be coming up after this podcast. To all our American listeners, careful with the explosives. Don't blow your hands off. Don't. Hey, be far away from when they explode.
I feel like we celebrate Canada Day without too much ruckus.
Well, I mean...
I feel like Canada Day is a very... besides the city fireworks, it's kind of a little... Like, it's more like a barbecue kind of vibe. And it's less of a...
My view of holidays has been
fuck yeah.
massively warped for like 7-8 years now. Because I have friends have to tell me when holidays are. Because it's Canada Day. This is a federal holiday. Which means you got the day off work. Mm-hmm. Well, why would I have the day off work when we work for ourselves? Mm-hmm. Just go to podcast. It's fucking weird.
Somewhere in this house, I have a flag.
Somewhere. I have a flag somewhere.
Yeah.
In my heart.
Because I bought a flag specifically for the pole so that I could put up my Daiguren.
Yeah, and it came
with the Canada flag, yeah. So I just folded that up and put it in a drawer.
Well, that says everything, doesn't it? That says everything.
At the end of the day, it is what it is. You know. It's like, yeah, we know where we are. You know where I am.
It's a big country. Look around. You know, you'll see something.
We get it. It's fine. Happy to be here. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
It's okay.
It's more than okay. It's all right.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's okay, buddy.
Could you consider all right to be more than okay, or do you consider okay to be more than all right?
Okay is the absolute, like, 50 out of 100 dead center neutral to me.
Yeah, to me, all right is slightly more than okay.
Because you can add a tone to all right to be like, yeah, it's all right. And that's like a 65, 70.
Or you can say, it was all right.
It was all right. But that's still 55 to me.
It's still at least a 55.
Whereas okay can range from like 40 to 60.
Yeah.
It was okay.
And in this case, 50 is a passing grade, not 60. Right? So it's like...
That blew my fucking mind when I got to university where they're like, 50 is a passing grade. And I'm like, wow, I have to do shit. And I almost flunked out.
I mean, okay, all clear. That's what it means.
Yeah. I technically graduated.
There you go. Did you, though?
Yeah, I did. I have a diploma somewhere in a bag.
Does anyone ever ask for the piece of paper?
Hell no.
Like,
fuck
every
no.
job that
it is purely ceremonial.
Like, when has anyone ever asked you to produce
You tell them the name of the fucking university, and then they fucking contact the university.
And they just look. Yeah, I guess they can just type your
why
name
would they? Why would they trust you with just a single piece of paper? Like, yeah, this is real.
Yeah.
This is super real.
Yeah.
It's in crayon and shit.
One has to assume there's a record...
Yeah.
That they can just type your name into and just go like, oh yeah, there he is.
And this person existed.
Although if you go to another country, then you probably really do need that piece of paper.
Or at least a transcript or some shit. And then you got to make a phone call. Well, we went to the States, they could probably just make a phone call, right? Be like, but then again, what fucking job am I applying to with my degree? It's all about that influencer shit now, man.
If you wanted to be a
Worthwhile member of society? Fuck that.
I was gonna say like psych YouTuber.
Leeching off the dregs now.
Just
That's you. You people are the dregs. Hello.
Twitch streams about psychology.
No, man. Dude.
Yeah.
You gotta put that shit into practice or else you forget it. Guess what that means? Most of that shit's gone. Long gone.
Doing sessions on Twitch chat.
No, that's unethical. That's super evil.
That's super illegal.
Yeah. No, not illegal, just unethical.
Yeah, okay. Wait, you lose your license for that? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What license? I don't have a license.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
I don't have any license. Driving's for suckers. Take that. Use your feet.
I was gonna ask if it's one of those things where you, like, you know how there's people that just go like, yeah, I'm a nutritionist, and it's like
That's a real job.
a nutritionist is a real job, and then there's people that say they're dietitians,
Yeah.
and then there's people that use other terms that are like,
And then you're like
nutrition consultant,
and then you're like, I want to walk into your office and see a fucking framed piece of paper
plaque
on the wall.
yeah, because then you start like leaving. Because you're not saying the word doctor, because then you'd go to the jail. So
You don't
then
go
you
to
start
the jail.
using.
You just somebody wags a finger at you.
Oh, I guess, and then you get a fine of some kind.
Yeah.
Then you got to shut your fucking quack practice down. But like you go from like things like nutritionist and, like I said, dietitian, and then you start going into, nutrition consultant and or lifestyle.
Life coach, man.
Like not even coach.
Nah, come
but
on,
like
I'm a coach.
just into these.
Who wants to sign up to Pat's life coaching service? No one. Yeah.
Follow by example. It's like, yeah, I'm a yeah, toothologist.
Yeah, toothologist. Yeah, there it is.
That's fat. Yep, perfect.
That's perfect.
Perfect. Fantastic.
Hey man, what have you been up to?
I had a busy week.
Did you?
Did a lot of things.
Let's hear it.
I thought you were going to continue off the Samurai Showdown train. Actually.
No, that was me passing the baton back,
okay.
and I'll take the baton back later
Okay, well,
and bore everyone to tears for 15 minutes.
I did. No, I see. That's why you're doing it this way.
Yeah,
Got it.
that's why I'm doing it this way.
Okay. Well, I spent a lot of time with Cadence of Hyrule, and guess what? It's fantastic.
I played it for about 45 minutes,
And you just probably melted.
and what? No. It's easier than
It is.
It's
much
easier.
more forgiving.
And I was like, this is really good. I'm gonna save this for a plane or something like that. Because apparently it's quite short as well.
Yeah, it is. I'm actually like the one thing I almost like feel like shit, it's a little too easy in terms of how punishing it is for some things, but like it also has its new mode, which is like really actually well done for people that are struggling, which a lot of people are.
Yeah.
Right? I'm hearing it. So when Crypt of the Necrodancer came out, a lot of folks struggled to just get the rhythm mechanic down and to just get to be able to stay within the beat.
Yeah.
Is apparently a struggle, right?
Yeah.
And I know the deal. I mean, the difficulty picks up when you have to learn patterns and shit gets wild on you. But some people are just having trouble with like moving around and stuff. So what this game does is it has the fixed beat mode.
Yeah, it has what is that in the original? Is that Bard mode?
Well, no. In this case, this is new for Cadence. But fixed beat mode is like when you like die enough times, it gives you the option to. Its easy mode is now selectable. What it is it turns it into a like it's not turn-based RPG, but
it's you move, they move.
you move, they move.
And if
right?
you don't move, they don't do nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is whatever that is called, a simultaneous turn.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's kind of unique.
But you have as much time as you need to do what you need to do and think about where you want to go next. But the beat doesn't break until unless you get hit.
Which I would think makes that game laughably easy.
I would
You turn
imagine
that on.
I would imagine because you get to learn exactly how the enemies attack, and everyone has a set pattern of movement
no
that
pressure.
you need to do. Exactly. So that seems like a really good thing to do to get people to learn about things, and then you can probably switch it back to the rhythm after that. Really fun, man. The remixes are incredible.
The music is it's good music.
Incredible, right? Gerudo Valley, Zelda theme, fucking whatchamacallit, happy music man.
So you spoke to that gentleman who worked on this, and he was like, everyone's excited unless I fuck up.
Yeah, yeah. The promise of Nintendo working with indies is a really great one, unless I fuck up.
Well, congratulations to you, sir. You definitely did not fuck up.
Yeah. Song of Storms, thank you. I was trying to remember that. Song of Storms, the remix of Song of Storms. Fantastic. Smooth.
There's a load off that dude's shoulders.
Yeah. I want to say that and I mean, I don't know about you, but I went for Zelda.
I went for Zelda first as well, and then I played for about half an hour until I got out of the tutorial. Then I went to Link, and I just wanted to see what the fuck the difference was. There is a little bit of a difference, but I'll go back to Zelda.
I've been sticking with Zelda the whole way through, and Cadence mainly. I prefer right now. I prefer Cadence the most. You know, because the Shield to me is way better than Nairyu's Love.
Yeah.
So, you know, but then you get Din's Fire, and that's a really great ability too later on. Anyway, Cadence of Hyrule, amazing. Bosses are like, there's like bosses that are like similar, but like obviously like infused with music.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's like, that's one of the things that like was always like a wall. And in this case, it's really not. They're much easier. And the game lets you resume from like where you were on the map, where if you hit an idle statue.
Nice.
Yeah. So it actually like lets you, it's forgiving enough to be like, okay, you're going to respawn, spend your diamonds on these items, and then like you can resume wherever you were. So
is there a roguelike or endless mode in there?
I don't know, because I'm just playing the main campaign right now. If there is, it might be unlocked after I beat it.
Because that seems like it would be important.
I know that there's I know that Hyrule is randomly generated.
Oh, really?
But like I believe it stays the way it is once
makes sense.
You load it up, type of thing. But yeah, tons of fun, highly recommended. And honestly, like just on a remix level, if you just want like some of the best fucking Zelda remixes I've heard in a really long time. Because, you know, what do you do with Zelda? You orchestrate it every time, right? Occasionally you do other stuff. I mean, it's one of the most popular, prolific OSTs out there. And in this case, you got like Family Jewels remixes and some other really talented folks on the tracks, and just a ton of fun to just let it sit on the idle screen or like let it sit on the title screen. And the, of course, multiplier affecting how much of the beat you hear in a Devil May Cry 5 kind of way. So you can get just the bass beat or you know, like a little bit more, and then the full thing blasting when you're killing the multiplier. Fucking awesome. And reminds me to go back to Cadence of Hyrule and like do the hard shit, because basically I feel like this is a perfect introduction. If anyone goes through this and likes it, then you go back to Crypt of the Necrodancer and like take that on, because it's a way harder version of
Probably
this.
gonna get Crypt of the Necrodancer on the Switch, because just for the, this is a really stupid thing, but like when I was playing on PC, the prompts don't update to match controller stuff. They still say the keyboard stuff. I found that really incredibly difficult to internalize as a result. And also, that's a really good game that is like I want to support.
Yeah. Interestingly, though, since there's no this time around, they can't reverted to normal controls where you have your D-pad and then your 4 buttons that do things, whereas the original was only 4 buttons because they wanted it to be a dance mat playable game.
Yeah.
You know, and that doesn't apply here. There's no Switch dance mat. So, yeah, that's Cadence of Hyrule. Definitely push that, support it. It's great. I want to see Nintendo take these kinds of risks with indie developers that might have really good ideas.
Because we saw them really slowly do that. Like, I think the first one is, it wasn't an indie developer, but it was the guys they had do Punch-Out, which was a small external developer that they did have, but you know, like, and then that they had a fantastic experience with Punch-Out, and now they have a fantastic experience with Cadence of Hyrule. And
think about every other franchise in Smash there that you haven't seen in a really long time that thinks that deserves some sort of recent entry. I don't know, what the fuck's Captain Falcon up to? Maybe give that to someone who can crush it in the racing department and do something really fun with that.
What are you talking about?
Captain Falcon?
Yeah, the fighting game character?
Yes.
From Smash?
Yes.
Why would he be in a racing game?
I hear that he has a car.
Well, I mean, you see it in his
Final Smash.
Final Smash.
Yes.
Because that's his backstory. But You want to make an actual racing game with Captain Falcon?
Well, I mean, there would be racing levels, but then you'd be punching shit in between.
Okay, that seems weird. It seems like it would be too fast.
Yeah.
I had a discussion with a friend of mine just a few days ago about this exact thing, in which there's shit tons of people that just see Captain Falcon as a Smash original character.
Yeah.
F-Zero has been gone for so long.
I would 100% love to see a game where within while racing, Falcon can jump out and fucking Falcon punch things.
Yeah.
And jump back in. That would be ideal.
Like a futuristic road rash.
You know, whatever you need to do. Whatever you need to do. Maybe that might consist of jumping on the fucking road and Falcon punching an incoming car.
That'd be cool.
Yep.
I could live with that.
Anyway, give that to somebody. Hey, what do you want to do with Metroid? Well, you're making Prime, I guess, but what else do you want to do with Metroid? Yeah, give it to get someone out there. You know? Maybe
Can we get Metroid Dread finally?
Maybe after Silk Song, you know, a certain dev team might be pretty
Dude, Samus and
might be not busy.
And her menagerie in that fucking art style, or even a similar art style with the flat 2D shit. Oh, that'd be good.
Or let's say you don't want to go that hard with it, right? Let's say you want to keep it simple and not take too many risks. Mm-hmm. You don't even have to go like, hey, look, give this team full entry of this game. It can be like Crypt of the Necrodancer, where you go, hey, you know what's fun? Fire Emblem plus Darkest Dungeon.
Sure.
You know? And you just go, hey, this indie game has a fun premise that has nothing to do with Nintendo games. Let's make a version of that people might enjoy.
Did Three Houses come out? I see people are very excited about it.
I don't know.
Apparently cut way down on the waifu and kid shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like the Fire Emblem, the people, you know, for Fire Emblem people, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, you know, I mean, if we can see it with Warriors and a couple other things, and it's like, yeah, let's. I think honestly, just throwing that out there, Fire Emblem plus Darkest Dungeon would probably do really well. I think people would really enjoy that. And like, you can recruit all kinds of husbandos and waifus.
Oh no, my waifu went nuts.
Yeah. But then just allow a coupling mechanic so that you can create new knights that are born in their armor. Ready to go to the dungeon. Yeah. You could even fucking fast forward time.
That time travel fucking waifu kid shit is totally ingrained in my mind as to the identity of Fire Emblem, despite it being relatively new.
Imagine if, like, you could, like, move time forward in, like, large steps of generations.
Yeah.
So that, like, a young adventuring knight, like, is how you get like a war master or like an old man brigadier or something like that, right?
I can think of something that had that as an idea, which would be Rogue Legacy.
You're right. Yes, that's true. But that's pretty much just like you're seeing your family lineage. You're not really seeing any of your characters once they die continuing to exist as another class.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like...
Oh, you mean... Yeah, okay.
I'm talking about like the rookie that then becomes the veteran that then becomes the, you know, like that would be fantastic. Yeah. So you can just take the same party members that go in and succeed, come back, like get to their max level cap, sit down and have a family, and then you move forward a generation.
Yeah.
And then like now that person's offspring is a new unit you can use that's going out for the first time, and the former is now like a new upgraded job.
You should look into Crusader Kings.
What's that?
Crusader Kings is a fucking weird ass like European like Civ like fantasy kingdom builder thing. Well, not fantasy, it's actually hyper realistic. And it's not Dwarf Fortress, but you see people like being like, I'm having trouble running my incest kingdom because the church keeps trying to steal my kids. And just like way too much simulation of weird ass shit.
Okay, well that's not what I'm looking for. I just want a game where my Joseph unit can become my old Joseph unit.
All right, I get that.
Yeah.
But then he becomes the older Joseph unit.
And then he starts cheating.
And then he forgets to use his powers.
Yeah. And then you're like, well, now you're a cheating scumbag. But in the process of cheating, you gave us a new awesome unit
Remember when Joseph Joestar was like, hey, Susie, I got to get down to Japan because I got kids out there. Oops. Okay, love you. I'll be back. Then he comes back with a fucking invisible baby.
Yeah.
And she's probably like, I'm out of here.
I mean, Jotaro said himself that the main house is in shambles.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the Speedwagon Foundation and its money are basically the only thing keeping things together.
I think they really should have actually, like, put that down. That they're, like, because Joseph was actually, like, a massive scumbag. And there are, like, dozens of Josuke's around. Just tons of them. And they all have the birthmark.
I have to hold my tongue right now.
Part 6? All right. Always, always, always.
So anyway, yeah, that's Cadence of Hyrule. The other thing, that was awesome was, yeah, I put some time in, to Smash Ultimate, and I learned how to play Joker.
Yes.
He's great.
Yeah.
Joker's really good. Tons of fun. I really, like, immediately took to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I did an episode of Get Into Fighting Games where a Smash friend of mine, Z, came down and kind of showed Reggie and I the ropes, and thuggery was committed. But in the process, I learned the basics of getting the hang of Joker, did some sets online to, like, shockingly good results for my day one attempt. And yeah, I'm like, I can absolutely, like, use this as an alternate main, you know, now that like, I've got, you know, I've always had Samus and I always liked Kirby, and, you know, Little Mac is fun but a joke.
Yeah.
Right? So
in that theme, you decided if I'm going to be a joke, might as well be a Joker.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, oh, hey.
Yeah. Goddamn, Arsene is a powerhouse.
I'm here all week, folks.
And when he comes out, I don't know if you did you mess with Joker at all?
I did.
Yeah.
So my current way of dealing with Smash Ultimate characters is they get announced and I shit my pants, and then they come out and I play with them for half an hour. I go, yep.
I think that's most people. In fact, I think that's why I'm like, Smash just represents the Oscars.
Yeah.
It's not about them actually being
I
there.
don't care about actually playing them.
It's
I just
just,
want them in.
hey, look at that! You got recognition.
Well, because I'm not I don't.
And the Oscar goes to
Smash doesn't tickle me
Banjo-Kazooie.
the way like even Sam Show does or something. Like, it just doesn't tickle that itch.
It's the real video game awards.
Yeah.
It's like this character has earned a spot.
Congratulations.
That's all it really is.
Commander Keen.
It's representative. You know? And yeah, like, with that, well, for one thing, I'm glad it's Joker, because I feel like Narukami would have been boring.
No, man, he's old now.
I'm just saying, like, for the timing of this.
Oh yeah, he's a kid in a fucking school outfit.
And he's doing the sword thing. So
Yeah.
his up B would have been the upswing. His down B would have, you know.
Yeah.
And but anyway, there's no, like, it would have been more like Minato would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Would have been really interesting, but Joker is also a ton of fun.
What about that? Apparently, there were games before 3
Oh man, why would you set them off like this?
because it's fun.
Why would you attack them?
Did you see the old Persona fans like actually like really happy that the fucking Atlas Twitter account was like, "Happy birthday, 20 years to Persona 2," and they're like, "You remembered?" It's like, yeah, but that's all you're gonna get. The old Persona became the SMT, and new Persona is its own thing. Just like I was talking to you just now, and like I cannot think of anything but waifus and future children's when I think of Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Social links and hanging out at the bar with your classmates is the fucking Persona experience now.
Once I build up enough of a resistance to steel myself to horrible fusion mechanics and, like, impenetrable, like, worse than Tartarus, like, grinding repetition,
Yeah.
I will definitely go back
To
the
1 and 2?
the older Personas.
Oh, yeah.
To know.
Yeah.
'Cause
you play SMT4?
Yeah.
Way closer to that.
Yeah.
Way closer to that.
Yeah. I heard 1 is a grindy
It's
mess.
a relic.
Yeah. I hear 2 is actually where it's at.
Also, if you're going to play 1, you make sure to play that American one with that awesome localization.
Right on. But yeah, I want to know the events that occur. So that's, you know. But yeah.
You know what? I'd like to take a second to talk to you and offer you my sympathies. After last week, you mentioned to me that you have recently played something on the Wooly vs. channel that left your heart in shambles. And so I spoke to a friend of mine and then went on a quick wiki dive as to what actually happens in the third birthday.
So you managed to stay completely out of
I saw it. I saw it was going to be bad from a million miles away.
And you never found out.
And I swore it off. And then every person I ever talked to was like, holy shit, this is the worst thing ever. I didn't, but I was right at that moment where my eyes misted up and I could have shed a tear.
Yeah.
About... So we say a word, we say a phrase often. We say it here. I say it on Page's stream. Like, it's the worst it's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
We can't use that phrase anymore.
No.
Because nothing's ever going to top the I'm saying this for a literal character assassination.
So congratulations, you are repeating verbatim what I said in that LP.
It's
and you get to watch the process of it happen slowly, because it is like it is the what did I say, the you're emptying your lung bag, like for over the course of an hour. And like honestly, like I don't even like, I care about Reboot a lot, so what they did to it hurts, but like, this is so much worse for anyone that cares about Parasite Eve. Which I do, but I am not.
You didn't.
It wasn't there for
new.
my. Yeah, if I played Parasite Eve back when it first came out, and then 2 when it first came out, I would be unbelievably livid at this revelation.
And on top of that, like, it makes that game so creepy.
It does everything.
Like,
it does everything bad you can possibly do.
Like,
and no series has ever treated itself and its characters worse than the third birthday. Nothing. I can't think of anything.
Like, I felt like I needed to take a shower after the implications that I began to understand.
And there's no...
all the costumes and the battle damage,
and there's no coming back from it. There's no coming back from it. Like, you could always just do the fuck you, it didn't happen, but
the smell is still in the room no matter how much you clean it.
That's not a smell, man. That's a shadow burnt in by the mushroom cloud.
So
that shadow's burnt into the ground.
I look back in time and I see people getting worried about 13 because Toriyama was writing it. Because of all the creepy shit in third birthday.
Yeah.
And then, hey, guess what? All that creepy shit happened with Lightning again. Remember in FF13-3 when Lightning is like wearing the Catgirl outfit and like is stone-faced and the character looks like someone put her in the outfit and she doesn't want to be in it.
Yeah. I saw someone put together a theory about, like, based on things he said, that they feel that he does it almost in protest of, like, Western culture and or something weird like that. But I don't know how much credibility that had. I don't know if that was just nonsense being spouted. But how much did you actually read?
All of it.
Okay, so you just wiki dived the whole situation.
The whole thing.
Okay. You didn't watch it, though.
Fuck no, I'm not watching that.
Like, the way it gets set up and executed... Because reading about it happening, like, here's the thing, the way it's done is like spoiler alert for Parasite Eve, not the one
PSP
or two,
shit,
the third birthday.
That is the worst thing ever.
But, like, they set things up in a horrible way where you're like, oh my god, are they actually about to kill Aya? And then you're like, They fucking literally murdered.
They literally shot her to death on her wedding
day. The character
day.
that I care about, right? The only thing. First of all, marrying asshole.
Marrying, what's his name?
Never mind
Kyle
about
Madigan?
that, right? Never mind about him getting them getting married, but literally, has this whole process of like who and why, who does this and why, for what reasons? It's unimportant. It doesn't matter. The point is she gets fucking murked.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Killed by a SWAT team on her fucking
and you're
wedding
just
day.
like, you're in the process of going like, is this gonna have the fucking audacity? And then she gets back up and then does the cool, no, I'm not dead yet, and she takes them all out, and you're like, oh, okay, sure, so yeah, whatever, mitochondria, there it is, it's Aya.
Yeah.
And then they bring her back to be a badass for like a second, to do whatever for no, like, badass, but it's not really, because the context of the situation means nothing and you have no explanation, so there's no real gravity or weight to it. But then they bring her back just for her to go, no, now you have to kill me for real though. And now I'm going to switch into your body, so I'm going to be the little girl.
Yeah.
And you'll be my stand.
Yeah.
And now you have to press the button
to shoot the main character
in the heart as I stand. And it's like, look, it's all of your memories. It's everything you loved. It's Parasite Eve 1 and it's Parasite Eve 2.
Kill it.
Like the boss.
Literally kill it.
Literally press the button. And if you don't do it, then we'll do it for you. You wait as long as you need to, but eventually it fucking just makes the gun go off.
Hey, Wooly.
And then now you have fucking murdered Aya inside of her little sister's body. You shot the little girl. She's dead forever. And now her little sister's brain goes inside her body. So she's going to be that little, mewling quim, I believe is the term. Like, just forever. As her creepy-ass boyfriend decides, yeah, you know what? I can marry that too.
Hey, Wooly.
And puts both rings on.
Let me ask you. I didn't know about that.
He takes the ring and he puts it on his pinky, and now he's double married.
Hey, Wooly, I really want to get to the root of this because it's going to play into us laughing about Kenshin earlier, and I don't know if the Yakuza story from this week is in the news, is it?
It is not.
All right. So, let's ask some questions for people totally unfamiliar. How old is Aya's adopted sister in this story?
At this point, I mean, at the point at the end of 2, I think she's 15. So I think she was like probably, I think the story starts with her being 15.
Okay. Who are you playing as a mewling, simpering wimp throughout the whole game?
You're playing as a 15-year-old possessing the body of Aya.
Of a, like, 25-year-old who happens to get all her...
14, excuse me, 14.
Happens to get all her clothes torn off and was like, It's so much creepier than I thought it was just creepy because it was like, haha, look at Aya. All her clothes
Which is why we then move in after that to our New Game Plus, where we can examine all the costumes we've unlocked, including the bunny outfit and the maid outfit, which you can then put battle damage on.
This is the new height of Nah Man. Wink.
Also,
totally 18, but her brains, what the fuck?
Well, and also it's your new character, right? Because
this is our new hero going.
It's our new hero going forward, and she gets wished a happy 3rd birthday because it's been 3 years since this new character was born. So actually, the 14-year-old inside of the 25-year-old's body
3 or 4
is actually 3.
Yeah, that's. So, hey, remember when Kenshin Man got no problems? Remember that? I remember Toriyama writes this, and it's like, no, it's not breaking any laws, but it's really creepy.
Well, because nothing actually, you see, it's all just, it's implication.
Do you remember when...
Brain swapping isn't real.
You remember Pierre Taki getting erased from Judgment because of a drug?
Hey, man, you can't, brain swapping ain't real.
Do you know, you hear about the Tanemura, the guy who played a cop in 4? He also got removed from the re-release, even though... it was a false accusation by an actor friend of his that wanted to fuck him over, and that got proved, and he got totally acquitted. They erased him. There's the new one, and the new one is the height of absurdity. In Yakuza 6, there is a Yakuza man that hangs out with Kiryu. He's like the secondary character. His name is Nagumo. He is going to be erased from future releases of 6 and fired from his talent agency and all this shit, because he may have a friend of a relative that might be in the Yakuza.
The guy in the franchise?
The guy playing the Yakuza. And by the way, I don't know if you've seen Nagoshi and seen what stories. Nagoshi hangs out with the Yakuza. Might be. It's like it's. This is the parody headline for real. Is Yakuza actor dropped from agency due to Yakuza ties?
Yeah. So I got in touch with a friend of mine that lives in Japan and kind of asked just to get a feel from, like, is this something that is actually felt by everyone, or is it sort of like the average person doesn't really give a shit, but it's really just being pushed down the line
from old people,
right? And like the sentiment I kind of got back is like, it's not like the average person is draconian about it, but they're still uncomfortable enough for it to be a problem.
Okay.
Right? And certainly enough for us to get a picture of how long it's going to take for anything to change.
Yeah.
Because as we followed up not too long ago, the Pure Tacky story's last update was...
The cops are mad that no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, because he took a picture on Instagram and a lot of people liked it.
Yeah.
So the cops literally had a statement saying, hey, stop liking this photo on Instagram. Don't erase his crimes.
That's a lot of inertia. And for those of you who don't remember your fucking grade 10 physics class, inertia is the propensity for things to not move.
Meanwhile, motherfuckers are literally like there's a quote that's from this weekend, because for the first time in 30 years they're allowing whaling boats to go whaling again.
Yeah.
And the dude who's like in charge of setting the boats off or whatever is like, I'm trembling with excitement. I'm so happy that we're allowed to go whaling again. Yeah. I was like, that's hilarious. But anyway, I like the fact that the cops are paying attention to social media and getting mad that people are not angry enough.
To me. Is that not weird?
It's the height. It's the height of it. But yeah, so what you're saying is if I don't hurry it up, eventually there will be a patch that removes this character from Yak 6.
Probably. But only on the re-release. That kind of thing.
Damn. Is this in fact the nationwide application of Hose Mad?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, anyway, there was that. Played a little bit of Judgment as well.
Oh, did you? How far did you get? Probably just the first chapter?
Yeah. Just at the beginning. Just got the little feel for it. And I didn't know that dude was like basically lifted from a TV show where he was more or less doing the same thing.
Yeah, he's also in a
Hero,
boy band.
Right? I believe was the name of it. Plays a cop and does that shit.
Yeah.
Has that fucking... He's got those eyes, man.
How do you like Japanese Aubrey Plaza at The Office?
Oh, yeah, she's great.
Is that not just Japanese Aubrey Plaza?
That's fantastic.
Everybody love her.
She shoves food in her mouth.
I ate the whole thing.
Quickly. Really, really fun. And I forgot about that shot from the trailer that I loved so much until it happened again. When you're tailing the guy.
Oh, yeah, and he passes by.
And he passes by and the eyes just, they just lock on. So good.
I love that series so much. There's something... And I mean, what's the last time you put hands on it? Like 3 million years ago?
Yeah.
Like, there's something so specific that nobody else does. It's like, Christ, those cutscenes are in no hurry at all.
Yeah.
Like, they will take fucking forever, and characters will sit and kind of stare at each other for a bit.
And it allows you to skip through the cutscene as you skip
new.
dialogue.
That's super new.
That's crazy. I've never seen that before. It'll just jump to the line you're looking for.
Yeah, it'll jump to the camera cut. It'll jump to the whatever.
It's not just a skip line. It's a fast forward.
Yeah.
Right? The dialogue choice tree thing is not really a dialogue tree.
Yeah, fuck you.
It's just a little... It's a fucking nothing.
Yeah, who cares?
Whatever. But I definitely beelined to the arcade as soon as possible. Played me some Fighting Vipers and then played me some fucking 5 Evo.
It's, this one's the most impressive ever. There's a lot of games in there. They even have a fucking pretty decent light gun game based on Yakuza Dead Souls.
Okay, I only found the one arcade that had...
there's different arcades that have different games.
Awesome. God damn it. I just sat on 5 Evo for a while.
Final Showdown.
Excuse me. Yeah.
And it's like... You don't need it's this awful thing where it's like, yeah, 5 Evo does fuck.
Yeah.
5 Final Showdown does technically keep coming out because the whole game is just in there.
Yeah. You can't play with 2 people, but
You totally can.
I plugged in a second controller and pressed start.
Main menu.
What?
On the main menu, there's 2-player minigame option.
Oh my god. You just on the main menu of Judgment.
Yep, just literally go to
Jesus Christ, they just sold you the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I just bought Virtua Fighter 5.
It was like that in fucking Yakuza 6 and Yakuza 5 as well.
I just literally bought the fanciest packaging ever wrapped around Virtua Fighter 5. Okay.
There's Outrun in there. There's fucking there's all sorts of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And Fighting Vipers.
Wait, Kiwami 2 has VF5 Final Showdown? That doesn't make any sense. That game takes place in like 99.
Min was saying apparently it did. Yeah,
Okay.
So
2006.
crazy. Yeah, ton of fun running around, beating dudes up, mashing triangle for big kills.
For murder.
Big kills. I can't believe a dude got kicked in the face on the ground so hard that he spun in a circle. That's wild. It's basically murder without it's fatal blows in Mortal Kombat.
Okay, so in Yakuza 6, there's a knife animation, or if you do a heat move with a knife, you stab the guy so hard in the kidneys that the knife comes out his back.
Oh my god.
And then you then hold him by the shoulders and do a jumping like tiger knee into the knife, and it goes all the way up into his chest, right? And at the end of the game of Yakuza 6, there's a conversation with Kiryu where Kiryu's like, I'm going to have to kill this guy. And Akiyama says to him, Kiryu, what are you talking about? The reason you've been the boss of Kamurocho for so long is because you've been able to do all this stuff without ever killing anyone.
Yeah.
And then a few minutes later, you shoot down a helicopter. You shoot down 5 helicopters with rockets.
Oh.
And it's like, this series exists in a phantom universe in which
gameplay is not cutscene.
you can only die in a cutscene. People can only die in cutscenes.
Yeah.
And if you had played that whole series, there is a textbook thing that happens in every single game. Someone will be talking to you, and it'll be really important. And then they're going to go to a completely flat angle of them from their femur up, dead center in the screen. And they're going to be like, okay, so here's what's going to happen. And then there'll be a dash at the end of their dialogue.
Yeah.
And then you will be like, there they are. They've been shot. Every single time.
Right.
It has happened like 15 times now. When I was streaming Yakuza 6, I got to 2 different cutscenes in one night. And was like, oh, there he is. He got shot.
Okay. Now, the problem...
You will see it, and you will know it even on your first try.
The problem is that if you're saying these helicopters crashed and exploded in-game and thus no one actually died...
That's right.
What about the waiter that Kiryu grabs and uses as a meat shield? What about that waiter?
The series tells you that it was the other waiter that killed him. Kiryu had nothing to do with it. In Kiwami 2, there is a guy you can heat move off of a flatbed. Heat move him off a flatbed into the highway, and an 18-wheeler rolls over his head. But that guy's gonna be A-okay. But like the wall move where you jump up and hit them with the knee is like death.
It's Mortal Kombat rules.
Yeah.
It's X-ray attacks. It's fatal blows. It's like we are watching as Aaron Black shoots you in the head multiple times. But you're fine.
And then you get up but you're dizzy.
Well, I mean, the fucking story mode, Cassie and her mom just literally murder each other.
Yeah.
And then she gets up and goes, congrats.
That's good fight.
Good stuff. Anyway, wow at that. But otherwise, really fun. And I'm enjoying the linearness to that. I'm waiting for the world.
It'll become a lot less linear relatively soon. You get out of that first.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the world to open up. But for now, it's fine. I'm enjoying it, you know. Yeah, and then I played like Bloodstained for a little bit as well. And I liked Bloodstained for that little bit.
Bloodstained's a thumbs up.
Yep. I like how many weapon choices they give you super quickly.
It's probably the best thing about the game compared to like the older formula
Right
stuff.
away, you get to choose between 2. and then very shortly after you get to choose between like 10.
Yeah, with when you get the 8-bit coin and you just fucking
whatever the fuck you. Oh no, I was just gonna say no. You beat the first boss.
Oh no, you can find a hidden 8-bit coin really early before you even leave the town, and it'll give you access to like 15 different cool Kickstarter weapons that are all weird.
Oh, okay. If you beat the first boss, you get to a fucking town, and then they're like, "Yo, what do you want to rock?"
Oh, that's what I mean. Yeah, the town in the town.
Yeah. They just straight up, "What do you want to rock?" And it's like you've got the full, like, almost like whatever, like pick your class in Dark Souls. Like, yeah, you want a sword? You want a great sword? You want
you get as many weapon choices in terms of moveset as you would through the entirety of Symphony of the Night at the very beginning. It's really impressive.
Hold up to JoJo.
And there's a lot of really cool weird weapons you get. Like there's a great sword that spins. There's a sword that you throw.
I also like how they implemented the Symphony of the Night special inputs, except now they're move specific or weapon specific, and some get more than others and things like that. That was really rad. Spear parries, triple kicks, deux, trois.
Yeah, triple kicks are the best one because
are they?
Yeah, because you can use them to get to areas you probably shouldn't be able to get to.
Oh, aerial versions?
Yeah, you do it in the air.
Oh,
and it gives you essentially a horizontal extra jump.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's like an air recca.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, on the ship, there's like a couple places you can't get because the jump's too far.
Yeah.
You can totally get them right at the beginning if you use the kicks.
Triple kicks. Got it. Okay. Fun. Just my only complaint is I goddamn wish they were sprites.
Yep.
That's it.
I'll
say it every time.
Way also.
I'll say it every single time. That's
and I would want them to be like old looking sprites too, like fucking kind of pixely.
Yeah. No, Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I want to pretend.
I don't want to see. I want her face to be a bunch of blocks.
A mess.
Yeah.
Mash.
Even though they zoom in and they're really nice cutscene models that have the integrity.
But you couldn't change the hair if you. Oh, you probably didn't get that far.
No.
There's a waifu customization.
Oh boy.
You changed 15 hairstyles.
I feel it.
all the colors.
Not only is this a Kickstarter game, but that nun that shows up is like just dripping with Waif-Ooze. Like Waif-Ooze. Because you can see she was a normal nun at some point, and then someone put the little sleeping bonnet on, and then someone else put the leg garter, and then someone put the legs open and made the tights go.
And then someone said, "Okay, this is a mashup. I got to redraw this while having a huge erection."
It's wild. Yeah, it's there's a quality that I kind of always attribute to character designs that it's the Super Robot Wars OG flavor, right? And that's a particular thing that you either know it or you don't, but when you see it, you know exactly what it is, because if you see a bunch of normal people standing and then one of them looks like the fucking protagonist from Beyblade, one of them's got the glove, the hat backwards, the big spiky hair thing, and a red jacket, and he's like, yeah, and you're like, there he is.
Yeah.
You're doing it, Shujinko.
Miriam and Zangetsu are just exploding with main character power.
It's nuts. And then you're talking to Johannes, who couldn't be more of an NPC.
Attack on Titan background character 4.
You couldn't be more of an NPC in every aspect of you. And meanwhile, she's just bursting with colors.
Who are you talking about? You mean Johannes?
Johannes.
Pisses me off every time.
Yeah. So, anyway, you can check out me playing all of those games. That's Cadence. That's Smash Brothers Ultimate. That's Bloodstained. And that's Judgment over on Wooly Versus. As those are all one-offs that are going to be going up this week.
That's both a YouTube channel, and there's also a Twitch version of that channel.
Correct. And also on that channel, lots of things going on right now. Lots of things. We're in the midst of things going down. But yeah, I talked about it a little bit last time. Just to wrap it up a little bit this time, going to continue with the main LPs, and me and iPatchWolf doing the legendary Mystical Ninja. I believe we've now hit the shattering of the fourth wall.
Okay.
I believe that is now live. So the journey through that LP is coming to its conclusion. I promise the volume will not go down.
Okay.
It will only go up. So anyone who's enjoying that, enjoy. I'd put it in my top 5.
Top 5
LPs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd put it in my top 5.
What would be your number 1? I'm curious.
That's an inside joke for the.
Okay.
It's a reference to the LP. Reference to the LP.
Oh, okay.
So that's continuing. The one-offs will also be continuing, and as of there's also a Wooly Will Figure It Out that came out this week. If you enjoy that podcast, give it a listen. I think it was a particularly good one that I recorded with iPatchWolf. And since we're all on that fucking content wolf train, I'm just dumping it all at the same time. I mean, pretty much almost due to peer pressure. But here we go. Gone in 60 Seconds, episode 1.
How many of those are there? I'm curious as to what that format's actually going to continue as.
Well, I mean, there's been lots of speculation, but I put 3 digits at the end of the episode. So obviously the...
Are you going to be continuing that without a iPatch Wolf present?
No, the
Okay.
attempt will be to continue it.
Okay. Oh, jeez. All right. That's...
When discussing how to handle doing a lot of episodes of something, I kind of came to the conclusion that, hey, you know what's not bad? If you're doing 148 of something,
Yeah.
1 minute,
Yeah.
quote unquote.
Are you going to make a supercut? The unwatchable supercut?
Well, if we get to minute 148,
Yeah.
then perhaps we can put a little fucking movie together, couldn't we?
Fuck. That'd be a mess.
Yeah, it would be.
And then you get to see you physically change over the course of it.
Yeah. Here's like I like surprising people with things and not going too. I like letting things happen because it's more exciting when you don't know what's coming, right?
Yeah.
But like there's things where people were like I that are worth addressing where someone was like, yeah, this seems funny and great and all, but I'm not interested because I don't want to hear rushed conversation. I want to hear him actually talk about it. Every time we get to the end of an arc, we're going to do a full discussion about it.
Ah, see?
So it's not just going to be these 1 minute segments.
Ah, I see.
I've thought about this a little bit. I'm going to do every episode is the plan.
Yeah.
Right? And we're going to find a way to do it. Don't worry about that. And it's going to go. It's obviously going to take some time to get there.
Yeah.
But it's going to get there. And then, hopefully we take the real discussions that we get as well at the end of every arc. We put that, and then it would be fun to slap that shit all together and create something fun.
I have one big question for you that you can answer at any time you like, and I mean like today or 3 weeks from now or 5 months from now. Who is the real Green Naruto?
Yes, Green Naruto
is it gone or is it Deku?
Is Deku, and Green Goku is gone.
There you go. See, he already got the right answer. He didn't even have to wait on it.
Yeah, because I didn't fucking get there yet, obviously. Yeah. But yes. This is what I've been corrected preemptively, even though I don't have the evidence of him being Goku yet.
Well, he looks like a Green Goku,
and
he's
got a fishing rod. So yay. But anyway, so yes, everyone who's worried or concerned or has the questions, I have an idea. I think it sounds really fun. I think it's gonna be fun as it goes. Just sit back and enjoy the ride.
Plans for people, or else they get nervous.
Just enjoy the ride.
They're fickle. No, they don't want to enjoy the ride. They want to plan out their ride.
I think I can't wait to sit back and actually see what Gone in 60 Seconds the movie will look like upon completion. I'm looking forward to it.
This is where Wooly lost his eye in that fight.
And I mean, as far as the ability to actually get this going it's not daily, certainly, but it'll go as I can do it, as we can get it happening, The logistics of how it's going to come out are dependent on our schedules.
All right.
But that's the plan. That's all over at Wooly Versus on Twitch and Wooly Versus on YouTube. And lots of fun stuff. I'm very happy with how it's turning out. How's it going with you?
Oh, well, Sam Show was great. And, I didn't even watch the fucking season finale of Titan.
Wow! No, you didn't miss that much. You missed. It was a great wrap up.
Yeah, I figured.
You missed the money.
Yeah.
You missed now that the action is done, we just get to put money into conversations.
Yeah.
And skyboxes.
And then I saw the ad for the final season, which is going to be in 2020, and it's straight. They're just saying straight up last season.
Yeah. I got a link from a friend of mine who said. This is, they're like, it says oh yes, final season confirmed, season 4 for 2020, and then she's just freaking out, going, oh my god, is that who I think it is? And I just went, I'm not clicking on this link.
So
I am not looking at this.
The reason why
I don't even want to hear that question.
The reason why they said that is not because it's like a character that should whatever. It's just, did you watch? You watched Avatar, right? The first season?
Mm-hmm.
The first couple seasons?
No. I haven't. The Avatar, the show? No. Sorry. Airbender?
Yeah, Airbender.
2 episodes?
Oh, okay. Well, let me just say that, the final season promo art with 2020, it took me a minute to recognize what characters I was looking at.
Okay, so
Because they looked very different.
yeah. Go watch the finale, and enjoy enjoy the concept of time.
Yeah, that's why.
Got it.
That's why.
Got it.
Could Aaron really be the Green Naruto also? No.
Oh my God, Shippuden?
Yeah.
Ah! Ah!
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so fucking cool. Yes. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, that's. Oh.
See? Makes sense, right?
She doesn't know what Shippuden means.
Yeah, but like you can see why that's why people are looking at the final art and they're going, "What?"
Okay. Oh my God. Cause.
Yeah, see there it is, percolating.
And everyone just puts the plan and the training and the planning.
Because that's the thing. It's like I'm in this place of like I don't know where the story can go, and like, well, how do you fix that problem?
You need to take some time to figure that out.
You do. It takes a bit.
And perhaps alongside that will come, like, some cool shit.
So yeah,
what you figured out in that period of time.
I should go and check out the final episode. Just
okay.
Have it done. And yeah, the final season of that will be in 2020. And it looks like it's gonna.
There's only one. Like the jump can only go to
so far.
Yes.
What was I gonna say? Is that it looks like the manga is going to end alongside the anime due to the timing.
That's really interesting.
But it doesn't look like it's going to be like a Full Metal Alchemist situation because we've been watching this story, and also you remember telling me that the author has written the final panel
and put it out there.
He has a very, very exact idea of where this is going to go, so I have no worries about that.
Wow. Yeah. I'm sure the full anime team has the exact.
Now some shots are gonna be different or whatever, but
this is not a like filler anime versus manga situation.
No, it'll be shot differently, I assume. But the adaptation team has done a great job. So.
Hells yeah! Fly to heaven.
And the other thing that I don't know if you guys have noticed, I've been yawning a little bit, and as a result, I'll be taking a break. I was planning to stream today as well, but I fuck that. I'm tired. I've been doing like 8, 9, 10-hour streams of FF14 since Shadowbringers came out. That is the new expansion for Final Fantasy XIV Online. It's pretty good. No. But there are a couple things that I'd like to talk about in a general way that people who know even MMOs at all would appreciate. Number one is that now at this point, because you had the 2.0 story, you had the 3.0 story, and the 4.0,
right.
They're all really, really obviously all written by different people. They're all wildly different in tone and like different seasons. I think Clemps brought up the idea to me.
Everyone that handles each piece of expansion is
the main story has been written by different people every time. And what they did this time is they got I believe it's a lady writer who did the Dark Knight storyline that everybody loves from the prior games. Hey, you're the lead writer on it. Go nuts. And what has happened is that it is the general thrust of the kind of MMO plot is leveling structure, and then about a third of the way through, ooh, a little plot twist. And then halfway through, ooh, a big event. It's not a twist, it's just a big event. And then you get to the end, and there's a little plot twist before the end, and you fight the final thing, and then there's patch content, right?
Are these things where the like it's for you who has progressed in the story missions, or it is the moment you log in you can see this plot happening?
Oh no, it's the way it works is that your main story quest drags you to all the different zones and content, but also has story elements.
How's Gunbreaker?
I don't know. I haven't played it.
Okay.
I got a buddy of mine who got it to 80 already, and he loves it. It's very, very active, like tons of pushing buttons. That's one of the things this expansion has done, where there's most of the roles now have a class. It's like, do you want to be like just fucking mashing out shit constantly, like 50, 60 APM? Here's the class for you. Just mash buttons the whole time.
Like Korean StarCraft champions?
Kinda.
Okay.
But whereas you get to this story, and while it does have a little bit of a setup because you're essentially on a different planet, every 3 hours, something inverts your perspective, or some revelation occurs, or some really fucked up shit happens. There's a weird body horror element to the story that I didn't expect. It's fucking great. It's like it's fucking great.
What happened to the scholars?
Scholars are mad. Oh, I'll take a second for this. Classes all got rebalanced, right? And there's a overall healer rebalance. Scholars are one of them. They had a lot of their damage tools taken away from them and replaced with healing tools. And scholars are kind of upset that they used to heal, and then in the interim they would do a lot of damage. But they try to shave down healer damage to balance it. Basically, the idea is that they're bored now when they're not healing, right? And the problem with that is that there's a whole weird, how do I put this? It's a whole weird like MMO culture thing where tanks are blue in the roll action, DPS are red, and healers are green when you look at the party list. And
healing's ruined.
A lot of healers were not healers. A lot of healers are what I would call green DPS, in that they picked a healer so they get really fast Qs and always a spot in a party, but they didn't actually want to play a healer.
They just want to get
They just want to play a mage with fast Qs.
Okay.
And
everybody wants one.
People who played that life are fucking miserable.
Gotcha.
And a buddy of mine, I have two friends of mine that play Scholar as like a dedicated healer, and they're pretty happy. There's some obvious problems with the class. The rebalance isn't perfect, but that seems where a lot of the anger is coming. And I even ran into that on stream where I played a 8-man, boss, and ran into a healer that I swear to God you can go back and watch would not heal anyone the whole time. They literally just stood there casting damage spells as people were dropping the fuck dead, and we were wiping 5, 6, 7 times. And we're like, please heal us. Please heal us. Said, hey, listen, what was it? Some people are just trying to enjoy new content so you can go be toxic somewhere else.
Wow. Okay.
That is the new...
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard me say this phrase, you don't pay my sub.
No.
You don't pay my sub is...
You can't tell me what to do.
Dude, can you please do your fucking... You don't pay my sub. I can play the game however the fuck I want.
Right. Gotcha. Yo, Sin Eaters, though.
They're so cool. They're so cool. And there's something that, like... Everything about... You get to see a person transform into one, and it's Evangelion-esque. It's very... That's where the body horror element comes in. You essentially barf out your whole body, and the shell becomes a Sin Eater.
That's wild.
They look like SMT monsters. They really, really do. Stories A+. All the zones are huge and really beautiful. Looks really great. But the thing that matters to me is that the whole of Stormblood, I was kind of upset because they changed the class that I play into a class that I didn't like. And all the classes that got reworks except for the healers. So basically there's two types of things you can do in MMO. You can either shave off the rough edges on a class and then, give them a new toy like they did to most of them. Or they go, this isn't really working. People aren't happy, and total rework, right? Totally reworked Dark Knight and Machinist. Machinist is a new class now. Like most of their moves got gutted and changed to something. People are happy. Pretty much everybody I'm talking to, except for a couple scholars and a few Astros, but they're bugged right now. They're happy. People just generally seem happy. And it's great. Story's good. All the zones are cool. The encounters are a lot harder than I'm used to. They're the average encounters, like dungeons and whatnot. They're much more complex than they were back in the day. And what I really hope is that this slows down the bads to the end of the game. Like... I am
As in the bad players?
Yes.
Okay.
The bads.
Okay.
So in Stormblood, the final boss of that main campaign before you could get into the post-game stuff was fairly difficult. Not too crazy, but it was tougher, a little tougher than average.
Okay.
Into fucking months of just screaming and whining and just, this isn't fair. I want to play it. I can't beat it. I can't get through this shit. And it's like, good.
What about those Dark Knight changes?
Well, I was talking about those earlier.
Yeah.
But just give me a second.
Okay.
It's like, if you can't clear Shinryu, stay back to get out of endgame.
Can everyone choose to kick somebody if they choose if someone's
Like
not
kick
doing
out
their
somebody
job?
out of a party?
Yeah, so if someone is not healing.
Yeah, you do a vote dismiss.
Okay. But then you have no healer.
Yeah, then you got to wait for it to replenish in the roll thing.
Okay.
And the final boss stuff of Shadowbringers is apparently super nuts. So it's like, good. We'll have a good week or two of get out. I know it sounds elitist, but when you have new players coming in that are buying a skip all the way to the end of the game, and when you have people coming back after 2 years gone, it's like there's a lot of people that are not knowing what they need to be doing, and it's very frustrating. And usually you can get a positive experience out of like, hey man, here's a tip, here's how to help with that. But then every now and then concerted advice gets met with, essentially, you don't pay my sub, and it's very frustrating.
I bought my ticket to the end of the game. Fuck you.
Basically. And that is a behavior that gets crazy upgraded in severity right around the month the game comes out, essentially, because people are then going to beat it and they're going to leave. The other thing
paid my way into top 8.
Don't buy jump motions. Don't do it. It's bad for you. You're wasting your money. And the other thing I want to talk about is I want to give like a little golf clap to Yoshi P and the team and the server infrastructure team down in California. Because, I mean, Wooly, you used to work in QA.
Mm-hmm.
You occasionally ran fucking network shit. Network shit is fucky, yes?
Yes, stress tests are fucky.
So,
that is one word.
MMO launches, online game launches, they're near invariably fucked up, right? And when they had Stormblood, it was super fucked up. They had that Raubon's wall where just days and days of nobody could get through like the third quest in the fucking expansion because they funneled everyone into a single player instance for some stupid reason. And they were getting DDoSed.
And they killed it live.
Yeah. Shadowbringers comes out. I started streaming it the day it came out at around 3:30 p.m. on that Friday. Server crash. Everybody's server crash. Look up online. Sure enough, another DDoS. And it's like, well, fucking thanks, assholes, by the way. Damn it. Okay. And not only are they DDoSing the game, they're not even DDoSing the servers themselves. They're DDoSing the network hubs around the server's location.
Like, is there even a way to get, like, is there anyone kind of doing the thing back in the day where it'd be like, you got shut down by fucking mushroom hacks,
Then
they have their little ASCII art?
The way that it came out,
is it even that
both
anymore?
times, is that it is assumed, and I think some people say this is confirmed, but I think it's just assumed, and there's a little bit of evidence that it is straight up World of Warcraft players who are like, fuck you in your game.
I mean, because I haven't heard that word in a while.
Yeah.
A lot of sites and a lot of places have put up the protection against it, and I feel as if when I did used to hear about it a lot, it would be accompanied by like, you've been DDoSed by.
Yeah. Now that does not happen.
Dream ROMs.
You know? Now I don't have confirmation on that, and
Whereas-
some people have said, "Hey, don't say that because you'll inflame the flames against the whatever." It's like it's probably just jackasses doing it for the lulz, right?
Right.
However, at about 4:30 p.m. that day, the server came back up stably, and has been stable since, because despite the DDoS being not even targeted at Square Enix themselves, they totally fucking felt and knew they were going to get DDoSed and did a bunch of planning accordingly, and it was smooth sailing the entire weekend. No problems. Like it was playing during peak hours. Like, that is commendable and awesome. Yoshi P, I think a million years ago, back when it was launching 2.0, he's the kind of guy he's in charge, but he's also like, it is outrageous that the game comes out and you can't play it at the day that it came out, you know? That sucks.
Yeah.
And it's really, and back in Stormblood, that left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth for a long time, that the weekend or the couple days they took off work to hit the expansion, fuck you, couldn't, right?
I mean, anytime there's a playable demo that consists of a network test and then the network goes down / is not up in the time window they said it would be.
And then it ends.
Like, the rage is palpable.
Right? And, like, you know, I have a bunch of pals that are like, yep, took Friday off of work. I'm sick on Monday. You know, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And for that to just all disappear, it's a fucking bummer. So, yeah, it's absolutely stellar that it's been up and solid. There's only one minor issue with it, and that is, I think you remember me talking about where the game is becoming much more populated lately.
Yes.
Like, it's blowing up. As a result, right now, if you were to buy a character right now, buy the game right now, all the servers are fucking full. All of them are full. You can't make a character right now because they're fucking full.
You can't make a character, or you can't join a server?
You cannot make a character because all the servers are fucking full.
Can you hammer it?
No, it's disabled.
So what do?
You go back in time and start playing 2 weeks ago when the servers weren't under the most load they'll ever be under.
Game
ever.
is full.
Game's full.
Can't play.
Yeah.
No new.
That's right.
Fuck you.
Couple weeks when average server populate, because basically
money wasted.
No, not money wasted, but wait a week. Because right now, like, how many people are on a server at any given time usually? 2,000? 3,000? Right now, it's like fucking 15,000. It's the max the thing can hold.
And
right?
This is international.
All the North Americans are completely full. I think most of the European ones are full, and the Japanese ones are fine.
Can you be a shit and, like, connect to a super far?
Oh, totally.
Okay.
And then you can pay the fucking $38 to transfer to the server
to
you
migrate,
want.
yeah.
If it allows you. So there are some people that are like, I'm going to get on Shadowbringers Day. And it's like, you really should have listened to all the people saying you wanted to either get in 1 month ago or 1 month from now. Because, yeah, shit's full. It's a traffic jam. Here's the thing, Wolves. If they let everybody make a character right now and they didn't have login queues, no one get to play because those servers would fucking crash.
I remember the last time I played, maybe it was like the Matrix Online or something. I feel like you made your character offline and then connected.
That's weird.
To send them.
That's kind of goofy.
Yeah, I think you made your character offline and they sat offline and then you picked a server.
Because here, yeah, you can make the look of your character like not offline but not connected to any particular server. But then when you go to choose one, it goes nah.
Yeah, okay, that's what I mean essentially. Yes, yeah. You go through all the character creator.
Also, right now, like, you know, the game has a free version up to level 35. Like, you know, Plague, for example, he's playing the game on and off, and he's playing the free version. If you're not paying a sub, you get kicked to the back of the line during the login queues. So when I've gone to
you can play it for free up to a certain level.
That's right.
Interesting.
Yeah, and level 35 is pretty significant.
Yeah, I guess that's interesting. Okay, because I'm like, it's like anyone who goes that far in free, you're the type that probably will.
Well, I use Plague as an example, and he's a weirdo because he's leveling characters to 35 over and over because he's willing to waste days and days of grinding characters to 1/3 of the level cap, but not pay $12. I don't get it. It makes no fucking sense to me. But yeah, As a result of that, I have encountered, I shit you not, no login queues ever. You go to log in and it goes, hey, there's a queue.
Yeah.
The queue's 8 people. Now, if you're a free player, I bet that queue is like way more than that. But, I paid to skip the line.
Free players are connecting to the same servers?
They are. But they're getting kicked to the back of the line in priority to log in. Because ideally, they would want all the people who actually fucking pay for the game to
so
be playing.
you got your Sky Priority miles
right.
kicking in for your first class. Yeah.
But also the people that are playing for free, they're ancient back in the old areas. They're not in the new stuff where everything's popping. But yeah, it's excellent, amazing. And I feel this is... I'm going to point this out pretty much every time an expansion comes out. I think the guy's name is Masahiro Soken, Sokken. He is the composer for Final Fantasy XIV. He has now composed more music. I think he's done more music for Final Fantasy than Mitsuda did, and I think he's approaching, or if not past, the amount of music that Uematsu did. This is the best he has ever done. He did a very, very good job doing the music on this. It is all A+. Every single area you go to, every single boss fight, every single everything is unbelievable.
It's a cool name.
Soken?
Masahiro Soken.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Apparently, what he does is he composes like a crazy person all day and forgets to eat, and then goes to like a local restaurant and just drowns himself in chicken. And before the expansion came out, Yoshi P said that he had been eating tons of chicken lately, which is a very fucking weird roundabout Japanese way to tell us that the music will be really good.
It's a healthy meat to eat.
Yeah. I'll probably ask you to put one of the tracks at the end of this week's podcast because it's good. Unless you had something special planned.
I was in a Persona mood, but sure.
Yeah. It's the week.
If you send it on, then I'll do it.
I'll send it.
But if you forget, then I won't.
Oh no. Yeah, expansion's great.
Okay.
When Stormblood came out, there was some trepidation and people were like a little and it ended up being good, but it's weird because it's hey, you know what? It's like a fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
Vanilla was really good, but it was vanilla. And then Super was amazing, right? And then Arcade Edition was fine.
Busted.
Yeah. And then
AE 2012.
AE 2012 was fucking amazing. And that's what we're dealing with here. I may have been wrong on the Street Fighter end, but yeah, the analogy works.
Ultra's where they fixed it.
Yeah. Ultra. This would be Ultra.
Okay.
Everybody happy. I'm happy. I'm very happy. I'm really happy. They fixed my fucking Dark Knight. And also, as an extra thumbs up to people playing my class, when you get the job armor, the sword that comes with it is literally called fucking Shadowbringer.
Hey, so it's the name of the thing.
It's the name of the thing.
The name of the thing.
The name of the thing.
That's a good.
I like it.
That's a big good. I'm very excited.
That's it for me. I'll check in.
For the name of the thing.
Not next week, because I won't have played almost any of it next week, because we're going to RTX. But 2 weeks from now, I'll check in a little bit with some more. But that's it.
And where would that be?
Oh, well, I'll be checking in here on the podcast. That's what I meant. But if you want to see me stream more of it tomorrow and Wednesday at around 3 p.m. till I die, that'll be at twitch.tv/angriestpat. And once I finally get through the main story stuff for that, this will go to a once-a-week thing, and I'll go back to Hat in Time and, I don't know, fuck around with Mario Maker and Samurai Showdown.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fun.
Right on. Yeah. And, of course, this weekend we will be once again... not once again for the first time, but once again for those who are not aware, going to RTX in Austin. That is Rooster Teeth Expo. We will be there Friday, Saturday, and some of Sunday. Our Castle Super Beast panel and signing are on Friday. I want to say the signing is earlier in the day. Let me get you the exact time. Let me tell people what's going on. Because I did save that schedule here. But we're going to be there on the Friday. And then Saturday, we'll be around just checking it out, doing things. I'll be definitely over at the Mortal Kombat area doing some hyping and some matches. I'll be playing like whatever, playing people in MK11 and whatnot, hanging out. But so Friday at 4 p.m. is our panel, and that's in Ballroom A, signing 1. No, yeah, signing. Excuse me. Our signing is at 4 p.m. on Friday. And then the actual panel itself is at 1:30 p.m. in meeting room 9.
Do you know how long that panel's going to be?
Yep, that's 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Friday, July 5th at RTX in Austin, meeting room 9.
What's the plan for that panel?
We're just
gonna do a baby podcast.
Do a baby podcast.
Hang out with you guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
Probably take like questions for like 20 minutes.
Shoot the shit and take questions.
Yeah,
that's it.
Show our balls.
It's not enough time to do a full episode.
Yeah,
but we'll do.
So we'll just staple that on to like a shorter episode the following Monday
or whatever.
Because I'm gonna be fucking tired coming back on Monday.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be there.
Okay, so you mean Tuesday?
So it's Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday next week podcast.
And then following that is from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. In Ballroom A, signing 1 on Friday, July 5th at RTX Austin. We'll be doing the signing. So yeah, come check us out. And then the Mortal Kombat finals, I'll be over there too. That's what we do. That's what happens.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, and I tweeted this out, but for any of the many of you who have said like missed opportunity to call your thing gone to your head.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, because that's a pun. That's for the people that know what that is. And
no, man, you got to get humor's better the more insulated and less knowable it gets.
One, the I like this title better. I think it's just a better title. 2, the time frame restricts the content to a degree and gives you a better understanding of what you're getting.
Yeah.
And 3, ideally more people will see this, hopefully, than have seen that thing. And it doesn't have to be attached necessarily. But the spirit of the camera up in your face being uncomfortable is retained. So that's what's up. It is a better way to go, in my opinion. I mean, we had on the table Gone with the Wind. Like, we had all kinds of stupid shit up there until I eventually
that's good.
Settled on what I liked.
That's good. I like that.
But anyway, let's do some news. Not that there was much.
Yeah, there's not that much this week. It was fucking dead.
A couple things happened. So yeah, I guess first things first. It took long enough, but finally we are going to be getting One Punch, a hero nobody knows for PS4, Xbone, and PC. One Punch Man video game.
This game's depiction of character strengths will not be canon.
No, and in fact, like, just the entire idea, like,
it's so bad. It's so nonsensical.
But like, they haven't shown the mechanics yet.
Yeah,
and you know they're gonna be absurd and stupid because it's gonna have to just be press one button to win, right? But they haven't shown it yet. It's gonna have to be one punch. It'll be a lot of dodging. It'll be a lot of talking. And then eventually, it'll be one button. It's going to be
Naruto, whatever, Strikers.
No way.
It's going to be, I'm telling you.
Like, we're seeing the cutscenes here of, you know, Gino doing his thing, One Punch Man just standing there, no selling.
It's going to be an anime arena fighter.
When
Saitama is going to punch people 10 times, and they're going to be fine.
When everybody's fighting each other, it's real fights. But when Saitama's doing it, it's going to be the one.
No, it's not. You expect too much.
I'm expecting the bare minimum, which is
that's not the actual bare minimum.
The thesis statement of the show.
Wooly, it's gonna be. Do you remember My Hero Academia Arena Fighter?
Yes.
It's literally going to be exactly that. Exactly. Remember when All Punch? Remember,
All Punch.
That's a good one, actually. I like that. Remember when All Might punched Froppy once and she should have blasted into a billion goo pieces? No. Because it's Arena Anime Fighter.
The
Wow, I bet she has a lot of waifus, actually.
the temptation to make a game and just turn it into whatever while high, I feel like this show is so much around this gimmick that you couldn't be that stupid
Wooly,
make it just like
the TV equivalent of a Japanese movie tie-in game.
I'm hoping for the best. We'll see.
I'm hoping for the bare minimum.
Because I literally want this to be a fucking budget wrapped around one thing. And that one thing is press X to punch. And that is it. And I have no problem with there being things that mean you can't punch right away. Right? I have no problem with there being mechanics that lead up to that. But there should definitely be a single button that does the thing, and then that's how you fucking solve the problem. Not X. Why would it be X? It would obviously be square. Pressing X would not be punch. That's silly. X is never a punch button. It's always square. X is always a jump button or a confirm button.
He's right.
Anyone who says press X to punch is silly.
Press square to punch.
You know
X can be a kick, but circle's usually a kick.
Circles usually kick. X can be a kick. Punch would never be on X.
Triangle's a sword.
Triangle is a sword. Triangle is a sword or an item.
Yeah.
Right? But square is punch.
Yeah.
Fuck you if you think otherwise. You're just wrong.
You're just wrong.
We know this. This has been proven.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go shoulder pads with it, you know, shoulder buttons, then that's fine too. We can have that discussion. But you're not putting a fucking punch button on X. It might, in fact, just be for dialogue prompts and opening doors.
Yeah.
Triangle can be interact. That's possible too.
That's also
you can fuck
a
around
thing.
with that.
You could be menu.
Yep. It can be evasive maneuver. It can be a roll. It can be some sort of non-action.
Oh, I have a minor update. I know it's way out of topic, but last week I talked about how the Switch version of FF7 is probably the best one, the Switch and the Xbone version, even though it has a few bugs. They actually fixed those bugs. So, yeah, the Switch and Xbone versions of FF7 are the ones to play if you're going back to that game.
Meanwhile, people who are asking about Chrono Trigger do not play the one on Steam.
Yeah, it's fine now.
They fixed things about it, but it's still
Yeah.
the weird fucking mobile version based port.
I don't know what they're doing there.
Don't do it.
They fixed a fucking bug in FF9 on the PS4 like last week, by the way. The bug that is still exists in FF7. So I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. They are treating those games weird.
So yeah, speaking of ports, in July,
Tell me about July,
what exact?
which is now.
July is literally right now, the 25th. So end of this month, Fantasy Strike is finally coming out of early access and is being released proper on all the systems.
All the systems, even
Yeah.
the 3DS.
PS4, Switch, and PC.
There you go.
No Xbone in there.
Ah, poor Xbone.
But Mac and Linux. Not bad if
Really?
you're... Yeah.
Fucking Linux.
Linux. If you're a Penguin user, you're in there.
Hey, Linux users.
Yeah.
You guys are okay, but you're weird.
Now you can play Fantasy Strike. Yeah, and it's got all the characters that weren't in the early access initially. It's the full 10. Yeah, it's got the rollback. It's got the online.
Oh my god, Linux is not lit, you pieces of shit. That's awful.
Fantasy Strike is one of them, like, simple decision making based fighting games. We've played once or twice.
It's good.
Enjoyed it. Really good stuff. Serlin games, all that fun Yomi. So give it a peep. And I will be looking a little bit more into it, perhaps with someone who was involved with
If you're gonna tell me you have Seth Killian over here, I'm
No,
freak.
but the guy that fucking made this thing
Okay.
is basically gonna come hang out.
Okay,
He's a local Montreal anime
That's
player.
cool.
And he fucking made the thing.
that's good.
So he's gonna come on get into fighting
Can
games.
you ask him why he's calling it Fantasy Strike instead of Yomi?
I mean, he's not the guy that named it.
Okay,
He's not David Serlin.
okay.
He's
Serlin, not Killian. Damn it.
Yeah, he's not David Serlin. No, Serlin is not in Montreal, but a local anime player by the name of Thilo. He's a fucking godlike super turbo Honda. He like crushed it at Evo many years ago, and
somebody,
good stuff.
you know what? A stripped down decision fighting game all about reads and like simplicity of input. Fuck yeah, he's a fucking ST Honda god. Of course.
As is Serlin.
Yeah.
Of course. That's what that
fucking course.
Yeah. They got together and said, like, we're making
the
this
entire
shit.
game is deciding to walk out of the corner.
They know. Keep it pure. Yeah, that's July 25th. We had a story last week in which we touched on them Pokedex changes.
Yeah.
We've had an update to that story.
Oh, are you guys excited for the update?
Well, let's see here. The boss of the Pokemon company, well, Game Freak,
Whatever.
has a message
For all of you Pokemon gamers.
Mr. Junichi Masuda of Game Freak, producer of Pokemon Sword and Shield, says, thank you to all our fans for caring so deeply about Pokemon. Recently, I shared the new... Well, to run the story back, they are not putting all the Pokemon in the new game, and if you bring them forward into the new Pokemon Home, which is the new bank, there's a bunch that just don't exist in Sword and Shield. So,
and it becomes Pokemon Jail.
So you can bring them in, but you can't pull them out.
And people started the National Dex campaign, which is basically, nah, come on, I want my Pokemon. Delay the game. I don't give a shit.
It is no longer about catching them all.
Or a live update or fucking something.
Yeah. And yeah, so that's what it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you to all our fans for caring so deeply about Pokemon. Recently, I shared the news that some Pokemon cannot be transferred to Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. I've read your comments and I appreciate your love and passion for Pokemon. Just like all of you, we are passionate about Pokemon and each and every one of them is important to us. So after many years of developing Pokemon video games, it was a very difficult decision. I'd like to make one thing clear. Even if a specific Pokemon is not available in Sword and Shield, it doesn't mean it won't appear in future games.
Yeah, but
the world of Pokemon continues to evolve. Galar offers new encounters. Junichi Masuda.
So, but
in other
he did
words,
say in his former statement, there will likely never be another Pokemon game ever that includes all of them. So even if the Pokemon that isn't here comes back later, a different one may be not there.
Oh, so a rotating bench.
Yeah.
So we can bring in the second string, and then they can be in that one. Yeah.
I really think...
It's a lot of work, right? It's a crazy amount of work, and it might not be in the time frame, possibly even the budget, but then you consider two things. One, the time frame can be what you want it to be if you adjust it, and two, it's Pokemon.
It's like you said the word. Okay,
budget.
For people not watching this with their face,
Yeah.
when Wooly said budget, I had 5 emotions hit my mouth at once. Just
now, in a game development context, even the companies with infinite money still allot a budget to a project.
Sure.
It has a given burp.
Yeah.
You know, and there might even be an outside flex of how hard that or how heavy that can go if you account for huge problems, massive failures, resubmissions.
Yeah, so like there's been we see this a lot in the game biz where it's like there's a single unfortunate phrase that gets uttered that takes over the whole conversation forever. Like it was a long time, and I still look at the fucking Eidos Tomb Raider as a girl that I'm supposed to protect, right? Just unfortunate phrasing. I genuinely believe that the National Dex situation would be way calmer right now if Matsuda didn't come out and say that we can't put all the Pokemon in because we're spending so much time on the animations. Because this has led to people breaking down just how terrible and basic the animation has been as soon as they switched to 3D models.
So a world without that type of press would have just had speculation as to why they weren't in.
Yeah.
And that would have been it for
but like
time.
Clemps made a video about Mr. Clemps on YouTube. He's a friend.
He's a soggy boy.
He's our our favorite rat person.
Soggy boy.
I don't know where that came from, but I like it.
Ahegao Academy.
All right. But he put out a fucking video before Sword and Shield even got shown. Like, I want to say like a year or more ago, where he just doesn't feel the same about the 3D Pokemon as he does about the sprites. And that later got extrapolated. You know, became a more common sentiment of like, all the old Pokemon had really distinct poses. And some of them had distinct animations. And then the 3D Pokemon basically are just A-posing. They're in their default pose, and then they'll do a little jump, and then like a sprite appears on the enemy to symbolize an attack, right? For most purposes, these things don't actually animate at all.
No one had any reason to take a look at this and think about it until...
So, you know, the real super fans did, and some people were disappointed.
Yeah, but it was, at the end of the day, you're like, it's Pokemon, whatever. It's on the table, and you just expect it to be basic, because there's a lot of things that have to have the same moves, right? And then there are more Pokemon than there are moves, therefore...
Yeah. And then you look back at, now he says that, and everyone's, like, looking at footage from E3 of, like... And yeah, it's an incomplete game, but it's like the fucking seagulls, like, A-posing, like, without flapping their wings through environments. And the one that really gets me is people were going back to the Pokemon Coliseum and Stadium games and looking at the incredible amount of animation work they put into every single fucking Pokemon, including unique feint animations for every single one of them.
So what this really did was it touched on something... I guess this is why the term watershed exists, in a way where it's like, you hit it and then now the dam broke and now it's all fucking coming loose. Because as someone that is not a hardcore Pokemon player,
same here,
I feel like there has just been a common sort of like more or less acceptance that Pokemon doesn't really evolve
or it does very slowly,
right? As a game, it really doesn't go places that are super different from where it's gone before.
It takes...
Despite the fact that it's about evolution in new regions.
It takes 5 years to catch up to 5 years ago.
Yes. And we're all pretty much like on the same page where it's like, yep, we're getting remixed region. We're getting... regions are just remixes of your map tiles.
Yeah.
And Pokemon they're all new designs or whatever, but for the most part, you're kind of getting a slow but more or less the same thing.
But that's okay. Because at the end of the day, adding to a big roster and there's more pieces to play with.
Yes. And now, the idea that like... Well, up until now, you'd heard me talking about like, why can't we get a big 3D world, right?
Yeah.
And other people kind of feel that way as well. But the accepted thing is, it's just they're delivering the same product they've always delivered. It's gonna be Pokemon. That's fine. Mega Man is Mega Man is Mega Man.
You'll be able to turn the camera.
But
now in your Mega Man game, you'll fight 3 Robot Masters
instead of 8. You've taken some away, and people go, "Why is that?" And then it's like, well, because we're doing all these cool new things,
and then you're like, what cool new things?
You never do the cool new things, and we don't
also
expect you to do the cool new things.
To be fairly blunt, the cool new thing that they're doing for Pokemon Sword and Shield is something that would feel at home in 2006. Like the open world and the way that game looks. Like, look how, that's a decade old now.
Yeah.
There's a really hilarious series of images that people sent me of Ocarina of Time Link photoshopped into Sword and Shield screenshots. And he looks fine.
Yeah. I feel as if, when you're talking about these fucking these massive franchises, these main Nintendo entities, right? Like, fans cannot make Breath of the Wild.
No, fuck no. That's super impossible.
Fans can very easily make Sword and Shield
and
have already done it.
There is, gameplay-wise, going to be significantly better versions of Sword and Shield that will exist immediately that Nintendo will likely go after super hard.
And the shut down projects to date have consisted of games that do make Pokemon more complex, that fans have done, where it's like that effort is like making Game Freak's effort with not even 3D, with just simple sprite work, like look like what are you actually
Game Freak
doing?
looks like a company that got to dodge the Japanese problems with HD development because they make goddamn Pokemon.
And Pokemon is allowed to be as simple and as basic as it always has been, with slight updates to make things now they're 3D.
And as a bonus, Gen 1ers, Gen 2ers, Gen 3ers, etc. are all adults now.
Yeah. Now, if this were the equivalent of Monster Hunter to Monster Hunter World.
Fucking, yeah. Take them out. It's exactly the same. We lost.
Although, how many monsters did you lose?
We lost. Okay. Fucking GU, fucking whatever, had like 90 to 110 or some shit.
Well, how many did World have?
30.
On release.
35? 30? There, around there.
And
with
then,
Iceborne, it's going to be around 54.
And they started dropping more in as time went on. But
holy shit!
And everyone,
look at all this shit.
And everyone that popped that in was like ultimately like, I miss.
Yeah, it'll take a game or two.
I miss them, but hey, look at what this game is now.
But also, do you know what Capcom came out and said? We're working really hard to get as many classic monsters in as fast as possible, and we're gonna work hard over the long haul to get as many as we can in.
But the question of at what cost resulted in a giant world that you could actually
increase mechanical depth and ease, and it looks gorgeous and all
so
that.
It was very visible and understandable what the trade-off was for getting all those monsters you wanted.
Everyone went, yeah, I'll take that trade and wait 2 years to get some more. And
this is not even remotely close.
Where's the trade?
This is not even remotely close to anything like what Monster Hunter.
What, we're losing 700 Pokemon so that we can turn the camera? I feel like that's actually it. We're getting high res X and Y, but you can turn the camera.
I didn't want to just say it's just X and Y because I'm like, maybe there's something I haven't paid attention to. Where it's like
X and Y and said that the reason the game ran bad was because the models were higher quality to future-proof them for later games when it went to HD fucking consoles.
So
they said it's higher res X and Y.
Like my brain, when I saw the footage of Sword and Shield, I'm like, oh yeah, it's X and Y. But I'm like, I don't want to say that just in case everyone's like, hey, idiot, it looks way better, you're wrong. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I haven't seen it in a long time.
No one is saying that.
It really is.
It just is.
So you're using the framework that you already had, and like,
oh, people are telling me you can't even turn the camera in some.
So it's a sequel based off of the thing you already had, and then you're building the new.
And it's a problem because
models in the world.
The number one thing about Pokemon is Pokemon. It's literally the name of the thing.
Yeah. So I wish I saved it, but I didn't. But someone had a really funny the fucking IQ meme, the mind,
the Galaxy
Brain meme of like all the things that get removed from Pokemon. So it's like remove this, remove that, and it literally is like it goes further than I've ever seen them go.
Yeah.
It's like about maybe like 15 or 16 steps long. And the final one is just a fucking like Illuminati triangle covering all of existence.
Can somebody send me that on Twitter? I want to see this.
It's fucking hilarious. It lists all the things that get removed, and then the last one in giant red text with the Illuminati triangle observing over all of existence is remove Pokemon from Pokemon. You know,
I have a friend of mine who's a diehard Pokemon fan. He's got a living dex, so this affects him most of all. And there's a bunch of shit that you and me don't even know about that are problems. Do you remember Mega Evolutions?
Yes.
Do you remember Z moves?
I remember them being introduced in a trailer where you do the gestures.
Okay, guess what? Fuck those mechanics.
Yeah, they replaced it with the other thing now.
Yeah. And like this has apparently been an ongoing thing of here's the cool new mechanic that we'll add to like 15 Pokemon, and Charizard and Mewtwo will get one.
Yes.
And that's it. We're gonna dump it next time.
Yeah, yeah. And it was like the idea was like too expensive to do a new number and model for every single Pokemon to give it a Z evolution version, right? It was just too much.
And there is one thing to say. I know
But
everybody's talking about crunch now, right?
Nintendo has pulled back on that, and we had a news story about how they've.
I in no
stopped-
way advocate for crunching the Game Freaks, okay? But, and I have seen that it's like, listen, if you were to delay the game to add the Pokemon, whatever, you would screw up a bunch of other people's jobs, like the people running the anime and the merch and all that, right? To that I say,
synchronicity.
The fact that this thing is such a giant multimedia avalanche of money should not be used as a reason to not improve it. It should be the reason that it gets money thrown at it to improve it. I don't care that there's an anime, movie, card, merch, school, back to school tie-in for Pokemon.
That shouldn't matter.
If it means that none of that money improves the game.
And none of that should matter or take precedent to the fact that it's about Pokemon. Literally.
It's about fucking Pokemon.
It's about fucking Pokemon. And the thing
You've
about
been talking to Eli again, haven't you?
No, but like the fact that it's blah. What am I trying to say here? The Pokemon.
Did you open your Twitter on the camera?
Oh, I guess I did.
Don't do that.
Well,
we follow people that you cannot open that Twitter on that camera.
Okay. Well, I'm looking for that post I couldn't
Oh,
find.
I found it.
You got it?
Got it. Remove difficulty options. Remove contests. Remove seasons. Remove super... They remove super training?
So...
They remove super training? Okay. Remove Dex Nav. Remove PSS. Don't know what that is. Remove Mega Evolutions. Remove following Pokemon. Yeah, that's in Go, and it's not here. Remove Battle... They remove Battle Frontier! Remove National Dex, and then remove Pokemon. I didn't even know they got rid of super training. That was really useful.
I don't.
What's PSS?
Where'd you get the picture?
I just I think Mr. Sup sent it to me.
Okay.
I'll retweet it.
Yeah,
I'll retweet it. Here you go. You can check that out at Angriest Pat on Twitter.
It is hilarious.
What is PSS? I'm trying to find out what it is.
Yeah. Difficulty options. Remove difficulty options. Remove contests.
Player search system.
Remove seasons. Remove super training. Remove Dex Nav. Remove PSS. Remove Mega Evolutions. Remove following Pokemon. Remove Battle Frontier. Remove National Dex. Remove Pokemon.
It's
yeah. Fantastic.
The player search system was some kind of online thing.
Yeah, this
is the weirdest part. Is that usually you expect...
I've never seen it go this far.
When you get an iterative sequel, the biggest thing about having iterative, pseudo-unchanging sequels is that the feature list just grows. Why doesn't it ever grow? It's going backwards now. You know, people say, oh, next-gen dumbed-down games and we lose features, and sports games had it really bad. This is like a decade of just add it, then take it away. Add it, then take it away.
Yeah, so... What I was trying to say was effectively that, like, the watershed, right? The thing that more or less everyone was fine with was the basic agreement that you would just keep giving the same thing with a little bit more added on to what was there last time.
I just want more sprinkles.
And nothing taken away.
Yeah.
And we want to someday walk into a Monster Hunter World equivalent game.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to not give that to us within the next 10 years.
20.
It would be great if you did, but it feels like you don't want to because the bare minimum is letting you coast.
Yeah.
And we'll accept that. Just take what existed and add a little bit more. And then in this case, you're getting less than what was there before. And now everyone goes, what the fuck?
I think an important thing is that people will look at this and go, the devs are lazy. And I don't think that's the case at all. I think the company is complacent.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was definitely something like that was planned in the scope that they decided against.
And the people working on it are
they
doing
must
their
have,
damnedest.
And I want to say that they definitely didn't look and go like it's impossible, but they just kind of said, well, they probably didn't think it mattered as much as it did to people, right? And if you consider that they've had games before where you kind of like when they did the jump, right? They ditched the blue and silver and shit like that. So the kind of thought process was, well, new generation, new jump, new gap, it'll be fine. The people will just get used to it, and then the future will fix the problem. But the proposition is just not equivalent in terms of what's new to make it worth it.
This is why I look at Pokemon Go and Pokemon Masters, and I just kind of start scratching my head, because those are alternate versions of Pokemon that just remove even more to not scare the kids. And it's
and I say this, we say this as people that are not actively following Pokemon.
I feel really bad for anybody with a national deck, with a living dex, and who cares about Pokemon.
You know, on the outside, observing what they're doing, going like, why are you doing it this way? So,
hey, Wooly, Street Fighter 6 comes out. 6 characters to start roster.
Oh, you mean new generation?
Yeah. Oh, what was wrong with new generation? It was a massive disaster?
Well, yes, but the first version of new generation had no Ken and Ryu.
Yeah.
So you're looking at the combat kids plus Oro and Dudley.
Sick.
Yeah. Personally, excuse me, I don't mind the idea of like I like it's blasphemous to not have a Ken and Ryu, and I know like not having Scorpion in MK3 was the biggest mistake ever.
Yeah.
I don't mind unpopular opinion, right? But I'm okay with the passing of the torch.
Yeah.
But you got to pass the torch.
All right, so take Pikachu out of the next Pokemon game.
Yeah, right.
What?
Well,
what?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm being shot?
Where'd this hole in my body come from?
Charizard, gone. Yeah. Pikachu, gone.
Dude, Soul Calibur 5.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally. Like,
and I get it. I get it.
And there are people that are way into Pokemon who, like, yes, we know Gen 1's important, blah, 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 but are like, fuck, there's going to be like 70 Gen 1 Pokemon flooding the list, the max list every time.
Oh, yeah.
Pikachu will never not be in a Pokemon game.
Blastoise better be there.
Right, like...
I'm not playing it.
So, that, you know...
My favorite, I have a favorite. Why isn't my favorite in it?
It's,
half of the original 151.
I wonder if there was like a fucking argument in some meeting room out in Japan where the merch guys are like, what do you mean not every Pokemon are going to be in the game?
I bet you.
What do you mean I can't make a doll out of 1,000 Pokemans?
Like, I bet you they've got full metrics on exactly how popular every single one is. That feels like it would be the second most important job of the Pokemon company.
The whole thing.
The number one most important job is to make a Pokemon product.
Yeah.
The second most important job is to figure out
which
one to make.
Pikachu. Just keep making Pikachu. Ooh, I just got a shiver of excitement. You know what people are going to be really mad about? When the anime goes to Sword and Shield and Ash has a Pokemon that you can't use in the game. Think about that. Think about that.
Would they dare?
Ash is like, Butterfree, go get it. And you're like, motherfucker, I can't Butterfree that shit.
Would they dare? I can't.
There's a very possibility. Depends on what the communication's like.
There's no way. They would not. There's no fucking way.
I'm excited. I'm now waiting with bated breath.
And I know everyone in the anime is going to be fucking like on lock to figure out exactly if anything gets shown in the show that doesn't exist in the game.
Oopsie.
But there's no way they're going to fuck it up that bad. That would be hilarious. That'd be wild. It's like, I can't even do what the fuck it... Yeah, okay. Okay. Well, anyway, that's that update this week.
Pokemon fans continue to be upset because you have every right.
Do you want to stay on the upset train?
Yeah, fuck it.
All right, if we're here, let's pull into the next stop. Choo choo.
Choo choo.
Train's pulling out of the Pokemon station.
Where are we stopping?
Keep your hands and feet inside the doors at all times.
Or else they'll get real disappointed.
Because we're stopping at Stadia. So we've been waiting for the proverbial shoe.
Phil Harrison is a shoe.
To drop.
Is he not? Phil Harrison just every time he shows up, it's like, oh, Phil.
So, Google Stadia. What is Stadia was our question a long time ago.
And Wooly, you answered it. It's a website.
It is, in fact, a website, yes. Now, there's two answers to that question.
Yeah.
What is Stadia? Apparently, it's also possibly a fucking ripoff and or failure.
It's gonna bomb. The person I retweeted was, this shit will bomb worse than the Ouya.
Alex, what is dead in the water?
It's dead right now. So there's two parts to this. And I don't know which part is funnier.
I'm going to go with the one that simply blows up everyone's expectations here, because the entire premise I've been like nervous about and talking about for the last little while has been the Netflix of video games being
Right.
too good of a proposition for most people to turn down because it's just too affordable. And the idea of lag doesn't matter when it's super affordable. I get a giant library and I can play it on my phone.
Well, think about it this way. Epic Store is the worst store ever, but it's cheaper, so even I buy games on it, right? How can you beat an affordable price?
Yeah, right. Low quality,
But low price.
but low price.
It's a winning combination.
I don't know why they would be cheaper.
Phil Harrison, Mr. Stadia man.
Oh,
When
boy.
asked, so how much are the games going to cost? How much cheaper are they going to be than regular ass $60 video
Well,
games?
first things first. Stadia itself,
Yeah.
the website, will be. They're planning to have a $10 pro service, which is $10 a month, or a free limited to 1080p, I believe.
Yeah, sure.
Service that'll roll out in 2020, I think they said, or
Sure.
something along those
yeah,
lines.
but for all intents and purposes, the first batch will be, but pay the $10 a month.
right, so you're
play
now
your Stadia.
you're doing the Netflix, the Hulu.
So you buy your $150 box.
You get your controller.
You pay your $10 a month to be able to play the games, and then you buy those games at fucking full price, despite the fact that when
Oh, hold on. When you say box, what box?
there's a box you can buy, there will be a box you can buy.
I feel like you're buying a controller and a login.
There's a fucking box. They showed a box.
Okay, I feel like you're buying a controller and a login
But
as
pretty
you
mu-
install that app
pretty much
on your
Right.
phone and or TV and or
Right.
whatever the fuck. right.
Um,
So anyway,
there's no box.
No.
Oh, the box is a Chromecast Ultra.
well then whatever. That's just another
yeah, you
app
gotta-
device that Google
Right,
is
so
selling.
you're buying
You can
control-
put it on whatever. The app
Right.
is everywhere.
Right.
Cool. Now, you'll then be able to browse through many games that people have put up that you can play as long as you're a subscriber.
Yeah, have to be a subscriber
And you will be able to play all of those games, correct?
at once you buy them at full price.
Well, hold on a minute. I bought the subscription service.
Yes,
Like a Netflix.
that allows you to use the Stadia everywhere.
So games will be like the Netflix, right?
Yes, once you buy them at full price.
But why am I about? But hold on.
Why would they cost any less?
What? Because I'm not buying them.
Yes, but you're getting the convenience of being able to play them on multiple things. Isn't that worth way more than being able to keep them once we turn the servers off in a year?
So I know digital, right? It was a scary.
Digital was
a little scary at
but
the
I feel
beginning.
confident in my purchase.
At the very least, the data is on the box that is on your computer, so that when you plug it out and plug it in on a desert island,
And-
it's in the box.
Yeah, and you know what? If the company fucking dissolves or whatever, they'll be a way for you to get it somehow.
But the files exist inside of your offline home.
They are there.
Yes. This is a ghost game.
This is
This is not real.
This-
You are purchasing the idea of a game
You know
on
what
this
this is?
service.
This is go down to the go-karts. This is go down to the go-kart track and pay your $20 to spend the day playing with go-kart, riding the go-karts around the track. And then you go to get in and they're like, you got to buy that go-kart. And you're like, what? Yeah, you got to pay me $400 to ride this go-kart because you got to own the go-kart. You go, cool. Do I get to take it home? He's like, no. He's like, oh. He's like, it has to stay here. you can come back anytime you want, but you have to pay the $20 to get in to ride the go-kart that you bought. And then the place shuts down because that business model sucks.
Yeah, so when your Phantom game goes on sale,
so that's number one. I think that's the bigger one. I think that's the extra hilarious one. But there's one that's almost as hilarious, hidden deep in either that interview or another one. When asked, hey, infrastructure in the United States and Canada, but let's just say the US for now, for internet is pretty fucking god-awful. Right? There were streaming Star Trek shit with Eli and Paige the other night. Nationwide outages were causing Picardo to go crazy, right? The infrastructure's not good, right? How do you think this is going to become, viable for the average consumer in kind of bad internet land? Did you see what the answer to this question is?
No.
Well, ISPs are going to see that about the importance of streaming gaming, and they're going to upgrade their networks to accommodate it.
Oh, sick. The pressure
of Stadia
is
going to get Comcast to upgrade its lines.
Will move mountains.
Oh, yeah. Literally, in some cases.
That is awesome. I didn't catch that.
You know how I mock Microsoft's Redmond area because they're all culty and they're all about the tribe? I'm getting a real fucking tribe mentality off the Google people.
Now, here's the thing, though, right?
And this seems real
here's
culty.
Important to note, specifically about the streaming service aspect of things. In all the confusion as to what the fuck is Stadia that we all had upon the reveal of that thing, there was eventually just an assumption that it was going to be a subscription service to access.
Because why would it be anything else?
There was no confirmation or announcement that it would be anything else, right? And when asked to elaborate on the point, Harrison said, not every developer and publisher is ready to move to a subscription model yet. And frankly, not every gamer is ready to move to subscription yet. So we wanted to give them a choice that they could engage in their games the way they wanted. In all cases, without the high upfront cost of buying a sophisticated device. So the entire purpose of Stadia, whatever you want.
So you don't have to spend $300 to buy a console.
Is to avoid the console. That's the
only thing.
That's the only thing.
Which is a net loss
trade
over 1 year.
Trade console box for lag.
Forever. But also
and screens
and
screens
but also the game after the thing shuts down. Trade that too.
Well, yes, but again, the idea of the console at the time, which is comfort, but then there's the time, and hey, how many games have you purchased in your life?
Me?
Yes,
a lot.
Okay, how many of them have you beaten? A lot.
1/5.
Which leaves 4/5 that you haven't.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Cool. How would it feel to buy something that you never beat? Have you booted every game you've bought?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there's like a dozen or so that I haven't.
Okay, here's my point. I buy games that I haven't booted yet.
Yeah.
And I have a bunch of them.
You'll get them later.
So they're sitting uninstalled on my Steam list that I'll get to whenever.
Well, guess what? Well, like Steam just ended 10 minutes ago.
Where'd my money go?
It went into your ass.
Thanks, Phil.
I had a pre-order at the fucking Game Buzz across from the Best Buy for Deadly Premonition on the PS3. And I went to pick it up, and the store no longer existed. That's the Stadia.
Yeah. Now, and here's the important part, right? Is in a lot of cases, like there's when things like this come up, it's on, let's say, a hardware developer to be like, no, we'll continue to support this shit as long as possible. We will literally keep our servers up and whatnot. If you want to get your Minecraft story mode, it's gonna be fucking weird, but you're gonna get it so that we have to relist it for $100, but hey, anyone who owns it can download it. Right, yeah. We'll figure it out. The reason why we are not getting the service here is because these are all because basically for the developers, they want things need to stay as similar to the way they are as possible.
Yeah.
So they're not ready for this rollout model yet, even though PS Plus and Xbox Gold Games with Gold is a thing.
Sony and Microsoft have clout.
Anyway, regardless,
Yeah.
a lot of the time, what stays up is not going to depend on Google. It will depend on the developer and their desire to keep the game up, period.
Right.
Or perhaps it could, and sometimes it's not even about the dev going out of business. Sometimes it's just, no Deadpool anymore. We don't want to sell that game.
Yeah.
There it goes.
But when you talk about Sony, Microsoft, Steam, Epic, Origin, Uplay, Google, one of these things just doesn't belong, and that is the list of canceled Google projects. Is
so that's
infinite.
Yeah, I want to say there was a website that was like killed by Google or something like that.
There are like 30 things, many of which didn't even go for a year before getting canceled.
Yeah.
Hardware devices that just stop getting updates within the year of their release.
Now, to be fair, it seems like Google is a company that's willing to greenlit some crazy shit to begin with.
Apparently, you get a bonus if you start a project that gets off the ground, but you don't get docked if it fails.
So it seems like they greenlit all kinds of wild, crazy ideas because they're that kind of campus.
Because maybe it'll be the next big thing.
Right? So that premise is understood. It's not quite the EA purchase and kill.
Sure.
But, putting these phantom game purchases in the hands of, publishers and devs that might literally just yank them and they might not exist anymore for you is an insane proposition.
I think the best way you can sum up the problem with Stadia and the future is to ask Phil Harrison when Stadia will release for Google Glass.
Sure.
And if he goes, well, never, because Google Glass is discontinued, and you go, oh, and that's it.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if Stadia did not last 365 days.
You know how worried people get about archiving things because they go away forever?
Yeah. Well, look at this shit.
Right? Could you imagine that a game getting delisted means the fucking mob comes to your house and breaks your shit and cracks it open?
It takes
breaks
the game
all
away
your
from
discs
you and breaks the system
and deletes all
yeah,
fucking flushes all of your shit to the recycling bin.
Yeah.
Watches it get erased and then they leave. Like, you never owned it to begin with. It's not real.
That didn't happen. And then they Men in Black your memories of the game.
Yeah, man.
This is a joke.
This
is a joke.
Wildly goofy. That is wild. Like, it was already super duper dubious in the form of the Netflix version of things.
Yeah. But hey, it's cheap.
And the money was going to make everybody go in because, come on.
Or at least give it a try. I was going to give it a try.
$10 a month, rent as much as you want, play what you want, do your thing. Sure. And you know what? There might have even been tiers where it's like, these games are in this tier.
Yeah.
And if you want to get those
whatever.
games, I don't know. Because, like the Crunchyroll model, right? You know, where it's like the idea that, like, the money is going to the game makers because Google is effectively purchasing copies.
Oh, Christ. You want to talk about fucking the Crunchyroll model? You want to talk about how the continued exodus from Netflix is turning fucking streaming into the reason why everyone left TV to go to streaming?
Yep.
And how everyone's going to leave streaming and the average consumer will go, why would I pay 18 different subs instead of just going to this lending link?
Yep. Ease of use for the consumer is, in fact, the source of why people go, why can't we do this ourselves and get paid for it? So, pull The Office off of Netflix, NBC, put it on your own service. Pull My Hero Academia off of Crunchyroll, Funimation, put it on your own service. Force people to go to other places that they don't really want to,
Or people could
and
go
sign
to
up
one
for services they don't feel like
they
signing
could go
up
to
for.
one place.
or they can just do that.
Gabe Newell's an asshole, but he was right that piracy is a fucking service problem. People just want to watch your goddamn show. That's it. They're willing to pay for it. They totally are. Just let them go somewhere and fucking pay for it. That's it. Like,
yep. You're turning streaming into old TV. You're literally turning the fix into the problem again.
Well, you know me. I like Star Trek. I don't even know what I don't even know what STD, which is the actual fucking acronym
Star
of that
Trek
show.
Discovery.
I don't even know what it looks like because it's trapped on that fucking Viacom. That's the only fucking thing on that whole streaming service. You know that? This terrible Star Trek show.
Yeah.
But Star Trek will get people on ours. It's
yeah.
Like, give me a fucking break.
Hey, man, we know firsthand. Come to our website. Watch this LP. What do you mean you don't want to do that? Oh, you really don't want to do that. All right. Yeah. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Just leave it alone.
Put it on the thing that everyone uses, and then... But hey, Wooly, hey. We're going to be the next Steam Flicks. No, you're not. You're just not. And the best part is Netflix doesn't even make that much money. It's the same thing with Amazon. You know, they have a loss, right? But money keeps going in because they're the completely dominant one in the field. Yeah, and you could make money later.
Yeah. No, anything, this is what we learned. Anything that is the size of Facebook, Twitter, Netflix, etc., where it is the one platform for the one service that it's offering.
It loses money. Who cares?
It does not make money. It is simply worth it to keep a hold on this entire market.
Yeah, because you're keeping other people from making money.
It's just like the denial space is worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
if you make $0, but you're keeping your competitor from making $1 million that they could then invest to take money from you, it's worth it.
I mean, even Amazon is in.
Like, Amazon doesn't make a fucking dime.
It's crazy. Any of these like they run the show situations.
But investors keep pouring money into it because it's going to be a fucking shipping monopoly. So why the fuck wouldn't you put money into it?
Yeah. Anyway, I literally, like, I've in one breath went from being worried about Stadia as a replacement to being like I burped and it's gone.
Here's the thing, right?
It's a breath out of my...
That last week? Like, your worries, like, I was like, I'm not too worried about it. But, like, I was engaging with the thoughts you were having. I wasn't engaging with my, like, naysaying, imagining shit like this, right? But, like, your fears were founded. Those were legitimate concerns in the context we were discussing.
The cost proposition was too strong.
It's a legitimate thing. We didn't need to have that conversation last week. It's stupid now, in hindsight. People are going to listen to that podcast in a couple years and be like, oh my God, I can't, the Stadia. Yeah. What is that even?
Remember when Google bought companies for the Amazon Fire to develop games?
Yes. That was not that long ago.
That's where Iron Galaxy went.
Where are they at now?
Not developing for the Fire.
I'll be real, I don't know what the Amazon Fire is. I don't think I ever knew. What is it?
I think it's just it's an app box.
Okay, like a Roku?
Yeah, I think it's an app box.
I think you meant Double Helix.
Excuse me, Double Helix. Iron Galaxy stepped in afterwards. Yeah. That's correct. Double Helix went there. Yep. Okay. Well, anyway, that's that.
I don't know. That's kind of upsetting, but that's also kind of a relief.
Yes.
No threat from this.
Yes. Absolutely. And then we got little bits and pieces here and there. Fun, if anyone is enjoying Tetris 99 like I am,
Mista points the gun at you, and then the gun just falls apart in his hand. You're like, oh, okay,
seems legit. So Tetris 99 was great. Now Tetris Royale is the same shit, except it's the iOS and Android version.
Cool.
So it's coming to phones. I hate the idea of touchscreen Tetris. I hate it so much.
Sure, but a lot of people are going to be able to play this.
Yes.
And they'll be happy.
I get it. I will be upset. I will still get it. And I understand.
Hey, the convenience. Right?
The cost proposition.
Yeah.
Then just little fun bits here. There was the Darksiders Genesis got announced about a month ago. Didn't cover that, but that is the top-down Lara Croft and the Lara Croft game. Top-down shoot bangs.
Guardian Light.
Guardian Light. Thank you. Darksiders Genesis.
Did you play Temple of Osiris?
No.
It's really not good compared to Guardian of Light. It's a real bummer. But Guardian of Light's fucking the shit.
I did a really early QA on it, but I didn't see it in its final state.
Yeah, it's just not the same.
Well, anyway, Strife, Big Gunman, the fourth of the brothers,
The fourth.
shows up and is here with his big guns, and it's basically it's your top-down shoot bangy, and it's Strife and War, doing it together. That's Darksiders Genesis. Yeah, seems fine. Seems pretty cool. Looks like a Darksiders, just zoom the fuck out. Probably not the way people thought they'd be getting to control the fourth character, but it is what it is. And then alongside the talk about that was Joe doing a little interview saying that, yes, of course, naturally this leads to when are we getting the game with all four in it? And he says
the thing that was like, it's unfortunate because they started the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse as the story before Darksiders 1 ever came out. Like, when are we going to play as all four?
Joe Mad says it's still on the table. It's still on the table, and they didn't want this to be the spin-off way that it happened. It needs to be a proper next game. So, yeah. Looks like it's what did he say specifically? The exact wording is that the concept could still come, but it should probably be in the core series, not a spin-off like Genesis. So that idea, which is basically I feel like what the whole franchise
the ending
is
of the first game, if you remember.
It's the promise of the franchise, right?
Well, the promise has already been broken. Because at the end of the first game, you see the three other ones as shooting stars coming towards you, and War's like, yeah, we're going to fucking rock. And it was to tell you, game number 2, and then number 2 game was like, nah, it's a prequel. It's just death.
Okay, but at the end of the day, if you end up with game 1, War, game 2, Death, game 3, Fury, and then game 4, Strife plus all the rest, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's fine. Right? You introduce Strife here.
If it's good.
If it's good.
Darksiders have been of varying quality.
Yeah, ideally, there would be a fourth and final game in which you played a Strife and then a chapter for everyone else, and then you just fucking did.
I disagree. I think there'd be a fourth game where you play as Strife and a fifth game where you play as all four. If they're going to do it like that.
There are, I guess, but they're already doing this spin-off to bring Strife in early.
I guess.
So,
Well, then it would be the fifth game.
Yeah, but this is...
But it'd be called Darksiders 4.
It'd be, because this is a spin-off.
Yeah, it's weird.
Anyway.
Pestilence, you fucks! You fucks! It's the coolest one! It's the coolest one!
Fury, bro.
Famine, I can understand ditching. Famine's a little...
We talked about this.
I know!
Starvation mechanics.
Every time!
Doesn't work.
Pestilence is the coolest one!
Doesn't work.
Papa Nurgle loves you!
Exploding into bugs. Doesn't work. Just big mobile disease. Yeah. They're teasing the new Apex Legends season. They're teasing the new character, Watson. She does the electricity.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
Who
even cares?
Yeah, they.
That shit just faded in my heart so fast. I can't believe it.
Yeah, map get change, stuff goes. Big confirmation for sure. 100% lockdown. Ultimate confirmation. Sure, super real. Sure, hardcore, hard confirmation that Titanfall was in fact killed. because Apex was a success.
Okay, but and then Apex was way less of a success than it looked like.
Immediately afterwards, yes.
And
However,
then-
the blip on the radar was so loud
It was the loudest.
that everyone was forced to stop what they were doing
I
and
feel
pay
like
attention to it.
Apex is a legitimate fad, or flash in the pan, but it was the loudest boom ever.
It was the loudest blip on the radar you could possibly imagine.
And I want to put that onto two things.
It beat Fortnite.
Yeah, into the dirt for
That's
a while.
insane.
And I want to put that on two things. One, that season they put out with the battle, that's the worst battle pass ever. I looked at that and went, holy shit, there is not one thing on that entire pass that I even want. And most of them were like sprays and shit. Right? Just whatever. And the second one is, God damn it, that thing should have had a solo mode months ago. It needs a solo queue.
I would settle for a better training mode.
Sure, fine.
where I can pick my character and actually practice with them. But yeah. What was I going to say? I was going to say...
Too often you load into an Apex game and you have a bad time because your party member's a fuck.
Yeah. You can break off from them entirely.
Yeah, but then you're playing 1-on-3.
So what do you mean when you say solo?
I mean...
Everyone is solo?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay.
It needs a fucking free-for-all setting.
Okay.
Badly. And it needs to be rebalanced for free-for-all.
It would.
Because fucking, what's her name? Lifeline be busted.
Yeah, I mean, although it seems like God, to take the game that was Titanfall and turn it into this, and then redouble all their focus onto this, and this is kind of how it stretched out. Like, do they even have the people, to do that shit? I don't know.
Well, but...
I was gonna say that I'm sure Black Gift is laughing at me now just thinking about it, but like one thing I got to see even before the season pass dropped is like new game hype is very, very flash in the pan.
Yeah.
And if you cannot keep people's attention by like staying on top of that fucking hey over here, no don't look over the no stay over here hey.
That's a pretty good summation of that process.
Like, people, like, 2.5 weeks after the game dropped were like, I'm getting kind of bored.
I'm done, yeah. There's nothing new.
And I remember just being like, wait, what? Like, it's been, like, because I'm just fighting game braining it, and I'm like, it's been a half month.
Wooly?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Let me take an example that is near and dear to my heart that is happening right now. The biggest expansion 14 ever put out just came out. There are people that hit cap with multiple characters already, despite the game coming out on Friday, and that's crazy. That's, take it for somebody who grinds hard, that's nuts. And they've already beaten the 2, like, pseudo raid bosses that are there and gotten all the gear they wanted, and they're like, when's new shit? Yeah. And the answer is, new shit is in 2 weeks, because that's when they delay the what's called the normal raid to make it so that average players don't feel rushed to beat the story, so that they don't so they actually enjoy the leveling process, right? So they don't feel they have to catch up. And 2 weeks after that is going to be this what's called the Savage Raid, which is the real hard stuff, which most people put their meat in. People are going to beat that within a couple weeks and go, when's the new shit?
Yeah.
Guess what? In fucking October, that's when the new shit is.
The ADHD is crazy, but it's also collective, and it will determine whether you live or die.
Right? And it's that, like, dude, there are people that go hard on this MMO or this Battle Royale or this whatever to the point where they actually do all of it. All of
everything in the game.
Warframe players.
Well, I was going to bring up Warframe.
Are the same thing. And they go, I have every gun in the game. You put out a couple new guns for this event and a new frame. The new guns are terrible and the new frame is average. This sucks. It's like, you can't be building a game for the people who have literally no life every single thing in the game.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up Warframe as what I was under the impression was the solution, in that like the scrapers out there that just get every nook and fucking cranny.
It can't be for you.
But
nothing can be for you.
But it sounds like Warframe already by default has volumes more than other things do.
Warframe has a fucking shit ton. I got to MR 25, 20, I think. I don't know. Is it 25? Out of 27. 27 is the highest you can go. And it's exponential. So I need to do like a lot to get to 26. But there are MR27 players like Fortuna. You remember that ice expansion drops?
Yeah.
Blow through it in 2 weeks. Do every single thing. Get every item. Farm it for 12 hours a day, every single fucking day.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Now
It's like you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Like
now in the case of a battle royale, that's not what scraping means. It just means you've been playing it a whole lot,
and you've learned every single portion of everything, and blah blah blah. And in terms like that, that's why a Dota or a League, like the map's the map, and but what do they do?
New hero. Hey,
rework.
Hey,
rework here.
Are you looking?
Hey,
okay.
Dark Knight got rework.
No, not over here. No, over here. Hey.
You want the ultimate? You want the ultimate?
Yeah.
The devs of World of Warcraft were asked why they moved the content patch for Battles of Azeroth to coincide with Shadowbringers release date. And they went, no, we don't. We never do that. We base them on the internal, things when stuff's ready. We don't even pay attention to our competitors. And then you go back and look at every goddamn MMO expansion or launch date in the past 5-10 years, and World of Warcraft always has something coming out on that day. Mm-hmm. Every single one. And it's like, of course you look at us. We're cool too. Of course you do that.
Did you?
But to tell you, no, man, it's coincidence. Fuck.
Well, all I will say is I laughed at it, but in retrospect, it's actually why they're on top. But the Fortnite hyper-reactionary response to Apex coming out.
Fast.
Ping system. Ping. Ball. Hammond. Get in the ball. You're Hammond now. Sword.
Wooly.
Sword.
I want to take 2 examples here. Sorry, 3 examples. 1.
Thanos.
Well, I want to ask you a question. I want to see if you remember, because it was really, really funny when it happened, and you laughed really hard. Overwatch's public beta came out alongside what video game release?
Oh my god, I don't know.
Battleborn.
Yes, it did.
They fucking thumbed them in the eye like a bunch of assholes.
It did. Yes,
right?
It did. In this case, though, Apex knew that it needed to sneak into everyone's hearts.
Yeah.
It needed to sneak around and put itself on your computer without Fortnite knowing, hey, install me, right?
Also,
and then everyone switched, and then Fortnite was like, what the fuck?
World of Warcraft was the absolute king of a certain type of development, and Fortnite is number 2 in all the games I've ever seen, right? Fortnite's number 2 because they don't do it quite on time. World of Warcraft would do the following. It's the biggest MMO ever. It's so big and cool and good and awesome. Hey, there's a new MMO that's coming out, and it obviously doesn't have WoW's money, right? And they got some cool new stuff, and that game will be out in a year. 11 months later, World of Warcraft will include every novel feature that rival game showed.
Sure would.
Before that game fucking comes out.
Of course it does.
In addition to having World of Warcraft.
Which is why Apex had to be a secret.
Right? And then Fortnite totally would have done the exact same fucking thing to Apex. If Apex was not a secret, pinging and everything you like about Apex
2 weeks before
yeah, and it would have been labeled what's Apex, or the Apex Fortnite,
the Apex drop,
right?
Yeah,
and it's a weird thing. Mm-hmm. It's a really weird thing.
And here's the thing. Now you're looking at also sheer. It's a Cold War, right? And it's a Cold War where, in this case, it's not even America versus the USSR. It's America versus fucking, I don't know what, Grenada.
Yeah.
It is like you cannot afford to produce content at a rate that will keep up with Fortnite.
And also, like, I want to take Fortnite again as an example. The reason why Fortnite's Fortnite is because it did that to PUBG.
Yes, exactly.
And killed PUBG as a result.
With that, it is an algorithm that learns from whatever steps up to it. You approach the mirror, and it looks back at you, and now it is you, and
it retains its old strengths as well.
But it is now you as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for contributing.
And it's the kind of thing that WoW got to be on. Like, WoW's still on top, and WoW'll still be on top for a long time. Like, 14's gaining some ground, but they're at like 1 million. Even at its worst, WoW's still at like 5 or some shit, right? But it's like the thing is like when you have all the money, you can throw money at and create all sorts of features and catch up to and like it just gives you all this leeway.
Its identity is the uncanny ability to take all other identities.
So what you're saying is that Fortnite's strength is the Sharingan
or the Borg.
The Borg, yeah, okay.
Whichever one you want to play it as.
Yeah.
Right? That's its one strength.
Yeah. Can't learn. No, sorry, can't invent anything new as after a certain point.
Copy wheel the shit out of anything that it sees.
Yeah. Now I have your power.
Now I've got it. That's all I've ever had. You can't beat that.
So what kind of development is that? Like invasive development? I don't know what to call. Like, there's got to be a term we can think of it, but like
Sharingan development.
I don't know, but it's a really clear
Yeah.
style, which is
yep.
Get your opponent's strengths before your opponents exist.
The moment they tell the public about them,
Steal it.
just beat them to the punch, and everyone who's already there has no reason to leave.
Why would they leave? It's
Yep.
already here, and it has all the other stuff too. So the only way you can do it is by focusing really hard on quality, or doing something that the other people can't do for whatever reason.
Oh, you don't want the powder anymore? You want that on a spoon?
I would like that.
You want to heat it up on a spoon?
I would like it on the spoon, please.
You know, no. All right, we got the spoon.
Oh, cool.
Here we go. We can be whatever you want us to be. You still got money?
I do.
We're here.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Let's take some letters.
Hey, if you want to send a letter in, you can send it into castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. That's castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com.
Oh, wait.
Hey, but I'll have an announcement at the end. We're finishing the podcast way earlier tonight than I expected, so I'm actually going to stream tonight as well.
Okay.
I thought I was going to get home at like 7 or 8, but like, nah, fuck it.
Short news week, but one of the things that came up is it is quite possible that Metal Wolf Chaos XD is coming out on July 4th. We don't know for sure.
They're being cagey about it, but that makes perfect fucking sense.
We're gonna find out soon, but it might actually be on the fucking 4th of July. Either way, Devolver's
Did you see the level in that where you have to stop the ships taking away the white slavery?
No.
It's like, Mr. President, we have to stop the white slavery, and they enunciate it weird, and it's like, Jesus Christ, God.
The producer at FromSoft, Masanori Takeuchi, did an interview in which he basically got to be asked, or he got to answer why so much noise about Metal Wolf Chaos now.
Yeah.
And he kind of basically explained what the deal is. And he said, first of all, he says I feel two minds about it when it comes to like the localizing of the game. I'm genuinely happy to see that people have picked up on Metal Wolf Chaos and are looking forward to it despite the fact that it's not released overseas. But we finally feel like we let them down because they initially aimed to release it worldwide, but they couldn't because of 9/11 back in the day.
That's okay.
That's why it fucking happened.
Curse you, 9/11.
So
yet another casualty.
Yeah, Sons of Liberty and Metal Wolf Chaos are the true fucking the games that we lost.
Yeah.
And in explaining how the audiences view the game, he says, it's America as perceived by the Japanese.
Yeah.
Completely fictional, but at the time, it was our idea of the ideology of American culture and comic book heroes. We pieced it together, and it became the president piloting a mech. We think that when Japanese look at it that way, from an American point of view, it's the same way that they see Japanese ninja, or the same sort of ideologies.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
In the same kind of fantasy, but it goes two ways.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, I want more.
Yeah. It is our American vision of Japanese ninja.
Yeah.
Those fake ninjas looking back and seeing it's their America. That's what Metal Wolf Chaos is.
Yeah.
It's the mirror of the mirror.
Yeah, give more.
Yeah.
More now. More now, give.
Originally, we had the dynamic between Michael Wilson and Richard Hawk, the president and vice president. And we wanted this comic book hero of dynamic of good versus evil. In our initial image for Richard Hawk, we looked at the WWF heroes and antagonists there.
Oh my God! And you know what? What's more American than good old
fucking
WWF
wrestling,
pro wrestling?
Faces and heels.
That's the best.
Bad guys have their own sense of justice and personality. They think they're right. They're bombastic, and we wanted to base the character on this sort of idea. Like it just explains,
everything's coming together.
It makes so much sense. Yeah.
Richard. Yeah, of course. Like.
Yeah. So, and of course, it being an exclusive game from Microsoft, it was very Xbox centric.
Yeah.
Thus, it being very American just made sense as well.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. And
on
it wasn't
top of that,
it wasn't the armored.
It's a good mecha game.
Yes, but it wasn't the Armored Core team.
Hell no.
It was FromSoft, but it was not the AC guys. You know. Anyway, so. Yeah, it's a fun interview where they just explain what the fuck this is. And we finally get a look into it because no one knows how and why, and we finally have some answers.
I still almost every day go to do something, and in the back of my mind, a little voice goes, "Let's party!"
I want to say, even though it's not acknowledged here, that full pats on the back because we straight up our channel.
Well, one of the Devolver guys just literally said it out loud.
We brought it back.
Yeah, it was totally us.
Straight up.
Yeah,
that's
he was talking about there was a lot of groundswell, and in fact there was this one LP by these guys, best friends or whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, it got a lot of people talking about Metal Wolf.
And like Metal Wolf Chaos existed in our spheres because James Small showed it to me back in the day.
We have to give a special thumbs up,
right?
And thank you to one James Small, which we have busted his piss many a time. But James Small is at the core responsible
of the revival of this fucking game.
And any light that went onto EDF at any point that came off of us is also him.
Same thing. Fantastic.
It is because of James. Thank you, James.
That's awesome.
You did a good with the Metal Wolf.
I'm so happy to finally know the truth about like things like that. It's like, it's fucking wrestling. Of course it is.
Yeah, of course. It's wrestling in robots in America.
Yeah. As seen across the ocean
from very far away
by the fake ninjas.
By Naruto.
That we have running through the trees in our heads.
Naruto was like, boy, I sure do love American wrestling and robots.
Anyway. So that was Castle Super Beast Mail
at gmail.com.
Yes. So we got one coming in from Gaetan, and he says,
"Oh, Gaetan, what up, man?
Hi guys. In response to your segment on last week's podcast regarding the director of the Bond movie denying that he played Red Dead 2, I'd like to point out that this trope has a name, and I got sent
suspiciously specific denial.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, I went and people helped me out with that.
Suspiciously specific denial is what we were trying to reach,
and it's like." It's perfect.
Yep.
I can think of dozens of situations in which I have encountered it for real, and it's just like, it's a bad play.
Yeah.
It's a bad play every time.
Helmet, did you see anything? Sanders, no, sir. I did not see you playing with your dolls again. Spaceballs. Yeah. Anyway. Thank you.
Hey, what are you doing up there? Not doing drugs.
Yeah.
Just anything.
Okay. Let's take this one from Chris. Says
Chris.
Willie and Pat the other day. Pat, you said when you streamed Bloodstained, the other week you streamed Bloodstained.
Yes, I did.
Though on the podcast you said you were going to save it for you.
Yeah.
With streaming being your job, I was wondering, what about this made you want to save it for you, and what do you look at in terms of like choosing to save something for yourself versus what to stream.
So,
and how do you keep it separate? Wooly, same question. Are there games that you save for yourself?
The primary thing with Bloodstained was that my brain was turning off when I was playing it. Is that I was playing Bloodstained, and for whatever reason, there's a relaxing rhythm to that game that kept me from talking. I just didn't want to talk. And that sucks ass for streaming. When I was playing, I've been, 14 is a game that I would know Life the Expansion like crazy, but I've been streaming every single minute of it that I've been doing progress because it makes me excited and it makes me words come out of my face. So I'm glad to share it with people. I might not do it next expansion, right? I might choose not to because it's hard to do this much streaming in a row. But that's the number one thing is whether or not I think like it'd be, and with Judgment, it's like the timing, and I have just finished Yakuza 6, and it's like I don't think I would be able to do the best job with that kind of thing.
For me, if it's something, here's what it is. My ability to learn, memorize a map, pick up on small details, catch little things happening in the music, note every little variation of a possible aspect with a weapon that I like or a boss that has a thing to it, I cannot do because that part of my brain is shut off when I'm
and it's going blah 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 blah
straight
blah
up,
blah blah blah
right?
farts,
including talking over reading dialogue sometimes or people saying things. It is just the simple nature of the fact that the part where you have to talk and say something interesting means you're not picking up 100%. And if it's a game I really care about getting that 100% or like learning it and improving at it, then I need to do it off stream. I have to do it for myself. Like the fact that I'm getting through Sekiro is kind of almost a miracle because that is the type of game where
requires a lot of attention.
Yes, and that is absolutely the kind of game where like I can feel how much worse I'm doing at these attempts on bosses due to having to do the on button.
Luckily with Sekiro, when it's high action, you don't need to add a lot of dialogue because it's very active.
Yes.
To just look at.
Yes.
So it kind of splits the difference.
And the thing is, the fact that I'm getting a little bit bummed with certain parts of it is making it actually ideal for something where I'm like, okay, cool. I don't care that much about the fact that I'm not getting to 100% focus on every aspect of this, right? So there's parts of the map that I don't fully remember.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of okay with that versus like Cadence of Hyrule. I really like this game. I really like Crypt of the Necrodancer. I really want to scrape and learn and play do everything, So
like it would be easy to say like the games that I really, really care about and for me are the ones that don't show up on stream, but that's not true. I did RE2, the game that I cared the most about in the world.
Yeah.
All boom, 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 boom. Yeah. But DMC5 I got early and played through it myself,
Yeah.
And it's what I think I'm gonna do well at for you.
Yeah, it's
all for you.
I'm gonna fucking like I'm gonna peel back the curtain here as we do, from time to time.
Do we have a curtain?
No, but but this is whatever.
All right,
this is a sausage making factory.
Curtain out your sweaty balls.
When we complete an LP, right? When we completed LPs back on the channel, and when I complete them now, or even on stream. I feel like I'm experiencing 90% of the game. Not in terms of how much it has, but I'm experiencing 90% of what I would have experienced if I were playing it
because you
alone.
Just didn't have the eyeballs open all the way the whole time.
And if the game has lots of conversation and stuff going on, and it's not like a Souls game where it's all gameplay, that goes down to possibly 85 to 80.
Yep.
So you walk out with a really healthy gist of the experience, which isn't a really good feeling if you wanted that extra 20%.
Right. And chat adds something to it, which is a communal aspect. With some games it's better and some games it's worse. Playing through RE2 the first time with chat was a blast because it's a bunch of people sitting in a watching a scary movie kind of feel.
Yeah.
Playing an MMO for 10 hours in a day with chat is fine because I'd be talking to people anyway playing that game.
There's also the part of it where sometimes things happen in games that it takes me like walking away from it to fully digest what happened, if it's a particular plot heavy thing, or to fully just kind of think about like, oh, what this meant, what this represented, what this was going for, or whatever. And that might not happen the moment I see it in the stream at the, you know what I mean? Like on the cutscene.
Yeah.
Like that big revelation that you see that everyone's like, did he get it? Did he understand what happened there? And it's like, I might not have that opportunity because I'm just going and we're here and we're live.
Yeah.
But if I was playing by myself, that would happen after I thought about it for a little bit
You'd
more.
be lying in bed and you'd be like,
oh,
damn.
you know? I mean, I could imagine what it would be like with this current season of Attack on Titan. Like if I somehow was watching that live with people, like a lot of my oh shits are the mass majority of my oh shits come after the credits roll.
Yeah.
The ones that are clear and obvious happen while the episode's going.
Yeah.
And then I have like 5 going, that means that.
But then if you look down, you'd be like, oh.
Yes. And not only that, but like they'd be waiting for you to catch it the moment it occurred, as opposed to when you piece it together. So all this to say that this is what determines what I want to save for myself sometimes.
But Baba.
Is Baba you?
Willie. It was so bad. You don't.
I did it.
No, but you didn't see.
I went in myself.
But you didn't see Paige do it.
I heard. The fact that it goes back into minute speak is really, really
but
great.
Baba doesn't like that.
Well, that's not where I
my
went.
Soul.
That's not where I went. Mine went into just full on, okay, Baba is you.
Yeah.
And Crab is door. But door is key. Key is button. And you just go into full minute speak. Coin keep.
The number
coin
one,
keep.
The number one thing that kept happening over and over is I can't move you off of Baba because then Baba ceases to be.
Yes.
Just over and over.
Yes.
I'm like, but Baba is you, but you is not Baba.
Yes.
What?
Other things can be you, but Baba must be something.
That game's really difficult if you have memory problems.
It's programming.
I love you, honey.
It's programming. Good times.
That game's hard as fuck.
It gets stupid.
Like, because, like, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull back the curtain myself and give Paige a little bit of a pat on the back. Because everyone's like, haha, Paige is so dumb, she can't figure it out. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, man, you're so silly you can't figure it out, huh? Haha.
No.
And like, I don't know what the fuck
The last
you do
one I
either.
solved on stream was, or like the second to last one, was a fucking doozy. And I'm so glad I brute forced it out eventually.
You brute smartsed it?
I brute smartsed it because I was staring at it for like maybe 20% of that whole stream. Maybe 25.
Just not moving things, just looking at it, going...
Yeah. I deconstruct my thought process, and my thought process is already limited because I'm on stream. So I had to break it down to the core elements and go, stop everything. I am failing because my assumptions about something that exists are incorrect.
Yeah, so the thing that
It is time to go back to the origin of the first thing I ever learned about this game and reconfirm everything from the ground up. Because my assumptions have failed me.
A really good example of that is the one that Paige keeps forgetting, is that in her mind often it's Baba can't not be you. And if that one piece doesn't break, right, that Baba can be anything and you can be anything,
yes,
half the puzzles become uncompletable.
Right.
But with all sorts of things, what does float or sink mean?
Yeah.
What does open mean?
It really.
What does it actually do?
I often got a solution after going back through that thought process and confirming everything, which is funny because that's almost basically the practice of compiling in a way.
Check your work
manually. You're going through it and going, oh yeah, well, fuck what logic error.
I didn't carry the one here.
I assumed. Yeah.
That game's amazing. But fuck.
Yeah.
Whoever made that is really smart.
public service announcement, PSA for everybody who's keeping up to date on Udon. One of their latest projects that people might be interested in is called Akuma versus Hell.
That sounds cool.
And it is literally Akuma fighting Hell.
Cool.
Which he uses as his own weapon.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't that be a thing?
Yeah, totally.
So that
Gotta subjugate Hell, so you use it as a weapon.
Just a heads up for everybody.
That's cool. Good job, Akuma. You're doing it.
And let's take this one here from Matt from Seattle.
Hey, Seattle.
Dear egg-flavored soda lords, my
like
roommate and I are having an argument. I was hoping you could shed some light on the situation, considering Wools has a testing background and Pat knows how to smush cardboard boxes good. Is the symbol on Wario's hat a W or an upside-down M?
It's an upside-down M.
My take on the matter. Both Wario and Luigi are Japanese puns for the word warui, which means bad, and their respective counterpart names. Because they've been designed by their native speakers, the assumption is that they weren't thinking about the lettering the English uses, and they were instead thinking of the kanji, or otherwise. I understand the Romaji in commonplace. Well, hear me out. Wario and Waluigi both share a W for a first letter, but they have differing hat symbols. Waluigi has an upside-down L, which is not a real letter. This implies his nature is bad Luigi.
Yeah, they're upside down.
Thus, the inversion of the symbol on his hat. In my opinion, that means the symbol on Wario's hat is meant to be an upside-down M rather than a W, as many have suspected. This implies that his nature is bad Mario, as of the inversion on his hat.
Yeah, that's exactly
My
it.
roommate says, nah, it's just a W, bro.
Your roommate's a fucking dumbass. You're super right. You're super right. Wario was they fucking made the goddamn M upside down to invert Mario, and then saw it started with a W, and then made the pun. And then they took Waluigi by inverting the fucking L, and then realizing they couldn't make a goddamn pun with the L, so they made a pun with the W again, and it's clearly an inverted M. You're super right.
Now here's the thing. If the font were such that the M on Mario's hat had its descenders perfectly vertical,
yeah,
but Wario's ascenders were opening,
yeah,
then we would be looking at
it'd be a W and an M.
and clearly because
it's literally just an inverted.
But it's
M.
not, because Mario's descenders are opening out. Therefore, it is in fact.
You throw it in the paint and you rotate it 180 degrees.
It is not a W on his hat. It is in fact an inverted M.
You can tell your roommate that we absolutely agree with you and that he is wrong.
And Luigi and Waluigi are just hard confirmations of these facts,
as well as being losers.
They're fine. But
that Waluigi shit in Smash.
We couldn't have known.
It's fucking dumb.
Until Waluigi happened.
Yeah.
We could have assumed, but we couldn't have known for sure.
You're right. Waluigi confirms
the lack of
it's an upside down M.
Yep. This is correct. All right. Oh yeah, sure. Let's take this one. This one's fun.
All right.
Nate from Buffalo.
What up, Nate?
A little long-winded, but I'm going to get to the gist of it. Dear Aya Brea breathing enthusiasts, I was catching up on old podcasts. Willie commented on Ghost in the Shell and Blade Runner, and it reminded me of when I started getting into horror games. One of the first games I ever played and was suffering through was Amnesia. Was Half-Life 1 mod Cry of Fear. And at the time, I remember I was thinking it was pretty much the coolest game ever made. It had an emphasis on atmosphere, supported by monsters, based on real Dark World themes, impossible architecture. It was very unique. A year later, I played Silent Hill 2 when I was shopping online. I ignored it completely, and after watching a lukewarm impressions video of the HD collection, it reminded me of Cry of Fear, the greatest horror game ever, or so I thought.
I like that. I like where this is going.
So I bought the entire series without a second thought. When I got around to playing them, I started to notice that there were so many similarities. Pretty much everything that seemed new and unique in Cry of Fear was taken almost directly from Silent Hill in some way or the other, including things like unreliable amnesiac narrators, secret trauma, flying bedframe enemies, zombie versions of yourself, weapons against you, so on and so on, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. It's a very long email. I have a lot of respect for the mod, but I could tell you a lot of inspiration that came from the creator and was love and a genuine effort to include things that didn't make it into Silent Hill, like the bubblehead enemies that actually pop. And I wouldn't have enjoyed it nearly as much if I knew about the Silent Hill series beforehand. Have you ever been turned onto a better game, movie, or series from its ripoff or derivative? Have you ever had the ripoff
I don't think so.
be the thing that turns you on to the original thing?
I try and be aware of. Depends how you feel about Silent Hill 1, but I only found about Jacob's Ladder because of its reference in the interviews about SH1. But I think SH1's fantastic. The reason why I started smiling big is that there was one comment that I saw a few days ago that just, it tickled me so much, made me so happy, angry, which is, I don't understand why everyone's lavishing so much praise on Evangelion. It's just a bunch of stupid tropes. And I'm just like, it made those tropes! That's what they're from!
Yeah. I got... So my introduction of my interpretation of Ava as... Last week, when I mentioned that my interpretation of Ava was that of a deconstruction of super,
people don't like
robots.
that, apparently.
A lot of people had a lot of things to say about that.
I bet they did.
And then I just remembered what it was like being in the club space.
Yep.
When people had their Ava opinions.
Yes.
And then
I remember those guys.
I could not run away from all of those tweets and posts fast enough.
I remember that guy. You remember the guy that got...
I remember all of them, but I remember the one in particular.
The Castlevania man?
I remember the one in particular.
Yes.
And I just utterly... I got like Genshiken
I have an image
style,
of you in my mind.
I got ripped back to that moment, to those places, to those discussions, and went, I am not fucking doing this again. Everyone has their Ava opinions, and sure,
listen,
we can go and we can fucking do the Anno Bible of his quotes to read what his intentions were and were not, but I'm not getting there. I'm not doing this. It's not a fun place to be.
We've been doing it for decades.
If you think I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. It's
Fine.
cool. Have your thoughts. That's great.
But we can't. I'm
20
not,
fucking years,
I'm not
bro.
doing it for 23
20
more years.
fucking years.
Yeah, like
holy shit, dude.
I agree with you that it's a deconstruction.
I think it's a pretty, and
even if that wasn't intentional, it acts as one.
If you think that was unintended depth, then so be it. That's all right.
That's fine.
I'm okay with that.
It's still there, but the idea of going back to aliens and being like, it's so cliched. It's like, it's cliched because aliens did it.
Yeah.
Aliens wrote going back to Terminator 2. Like, this is just like a video game. Yeah, because they ripped it off for decades.
Yeah.
You dumb idiots.
There's a naivete that, what are you going to do?
Terminator 2 has a fucking final boss. In the factory level.
I mean, I played Gears of War before RE4. So if there's any similarity there.
Yeah, that's down.
That's
kind of.
I can't think of tons of examples. I played Tactics Advance before Tactics. Never beat Tactics.
It's a good game.
Yeah, I know. There's a couple out there, but that's not quite the same as like the ripoff.
Yeah.
Doing the thing.
Like,
I
didn't play Mortal Kombat before Street Fighter.
No.
Right?
No. The ripoff.
Are there anybody that got into old Transformers by watching Transmorphers?
Hey, I haven't played Earthbound.
That's true.
I've played the derivatives. That's true.
Except Earthbound's not better than Undertale. In fact, Earthbound is not very good at all.
Really?
I don't care for it.
I've heard very different opinions.
I'm sure you have. And I'm about to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway. There's one thing that's consistent, and today proved no exception.
What's that?
Every time Avatar comes up, there is a dedicated...
It's really good.
I know. But that's not what I'm told.
Yeah.
There is a dedicated, concentration of a push to be like, dude, dough. It's like, you know the saying, what should I drop? What should I delete?
Right now?
To make space.
Korra. Out of your mind?
That's not in my mind either.
Oh, you didn't watch Korra?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're good.
Tell me what to delete. Should I delete Legend of the Galactic Heroes? Because I won't.
Yeah, do that.
Because that's the best thing I've ever watched, so I'm not going to. But anyway, yeah. No, I know
The usual answer is sleep.
that's already happening anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Whoa, that's a podcast.
All right, we did it.
We'll see you guys
In Texas.
at RTX.
And next week as well.
And we will be unveiling something new at RTX.
That you can use to cover your nipples.
That is not what I was going to say.
No.
But something new podcast related will be revealed at the RTX panel.
Oh, okay.
Hey, are you looking? Hey, over here. Hey, no, over here, nope, not over there, over here. Hey, you looking? You paying attention? Over here.